Actually live. Yeah, true, Henry. Yes. There you go. I don't know why it takes so long every time. We gotta stare at that button. Slugcat, what's up, my duderino? Man, I don't know why. That's gotta go away, right? After a certain amount of time. Also, is this music loud? Let's turn this. Can never tell, okay? So you guys have to tell me. Last time we talked to nobody for 30 minutes because you fucking assholes didn't tell me that my Discord chat was not coming through. Okay, I'm sure it's all different people now. The Derpy Noob, hi! Hey, what's going on? What's new, guys? As always, we'll see how long we stream, how comfortable we feel, and we'll just... This is a me experience, alright? We're trying to learn this. Every time I get anxious. I don't know what it is. It must go away eventually, right? Certainly. Here I am. I just got home from work, so we're still wearing the tie. The dog is around here somewhere. I don't know where he is. Yeah, poor guy. He's been home all day doing nothing. Just get high before we go live. I actually don't really smoke ever. You know, and I've been drinking a lot less, which is good. Okay. Actually, I haven't really drank. Okay, I don't know why I said really. I haven't drank in over a week. I don't know if that's sad or good. Feels good. I'm like, okay, cool. You know, that's something. Just trying to, you know, change it up. Monkey Boy, I love your art. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. I like my art. Sometimes I love my art. Sometimes I really fucking hate my art. Because that's how this kind of shit goes. I don't think that'll ever change too. I think that's part of working on art. If you feel good, that's great. I do feel good. Yeah, I don't know how I really want to get right away. Since the big life-changing events that happened in my life, I was just like, hey, let's take a break from drinking. Let's take a big break from that. And I think that's been a good call. This is Hollow Knight music. It's kind of a little slow. We're going to skip this one. Oh, bangers. Okay. Once again, just let me know if my audio is fucked. It's hard to tell. You're just kind of guessing. I always want to turn stuff down, but then it's too quiet. Anyway. And also, that's my Discord. If the Discord's coming through, my Discord, not yours. I don't even know where that was. All right. You sound good. Thanks, Henry. Appreciate that. I'm very inspired by your games, so I am starting game design. Do it, Mindful Ziku. Monkey Boy. Yeah, I just started game dev and game maker. I really heard a lot of great things about game maker, by the way. One of my favorite guys that I watch, and I'm waiting for him to just be like 10 times my size so I can say I watched him back when, is oh god, now I'm blanking on the name. After all that setup, what a bad promoter I would be. Holy hell. Oh my god, let me go to YouTube. Hold on. My brain is like fried today. Well, to be fair, I did work like full shift today. Let's go through my subs. I don't sub to enough YouTube people. Sundercore Dev. He's one of my favorite ones to watch, and I'm pretty sure everything he does is in Game Maker Studio. So this guy, oh my god, dude, I love his stuff. It's so good. I don't know, I'm waiting for him to like explode. We were both at like 3K subs when we started out. And then I don't know, I talk fast and I'm loud, and I think that helps me. And I just can't wait for his shit to blow up because like some of his this video did really well, which I'm really happy about, because this 30 days of devlogging in one video, 18 minutes long. Oh man, making a video like that gives me anxiety already. Like, ugh, Jesus Christ. But yeah, this guy is like, I always refer to him as like, if I was making a game I was really proud of, this is like that guy. Because every time I see his stuff, I'm like, holy shit, dude. Like, it just seems so much better put together, and also he's been working at it for so long. I think he restarted it at some point. DNO. Hey, MZ_F. Hey, that's me. You're my primary reason I use Godot. Okay, I hope that's not a bad thing. And hopefully you don't use Godot 3.5 like I do, because there's probably no reason to do that. But yeah, Godot's pretty cool. I said this before, I only ever used Godot because a friend I knew used it, and I was like, well, let me just, oh, there's my dog. I was like, let me just use the one that he used. So that way I could bug him. I think that's really important. It's like back in the day when you used to play video games with friends, and like the console you bought would not be that indicative to how much you liked PlayStation or Xbox, but instead it was like, holy fuck, let's play games online together. That's before crossplay. I know a lot of you guys are younger, so you don't know that. But back in the day, if you had an Xbox and your friend had PlayStation, those PlayStation friends, they were losers. Even though that PS3 had the cell processor and like 9,000 cores or whatever, nobody was playing Call of Duty on PS3, okay? It was all about Xbox 360. Even if it looked worse, okay? So that's kind of the same thing for Godot or Unity. Just pick the one that I think your friends or someone you can rely on to bug uses, because that way you have like a cheat code whenever something goes wrong. Let's move this off the screen. Yeah, Sundercore is so cool, dude. I want to work with him on something, but I haven't bugged him in a while. So maybe at some point we can do something like that. It would be cool to do a video, right? Where we have like a theme you talk about for whatever, like ideally my game I'm working on. And then like go to another YouTuber and be like, what are your thoughts on this kind of thing? Whether they're bigger or smaller. I feel like that would be such cool content. I don't see enough of that or any of that, I think, ever. I just feel like every video I do where I'm not interacting with another YouTuber, I feel like that could be a waste of potential, like, you know, good cross-pollination. There's so much out there. Sword! Hey, Sword, what's going on? My Discord Reno buddy. Slugcat, do you have any tips and tricks for game art? Yeah, there's a couple tricks. One of the most common tricks that I use for everything is that my characters, this is actually playable, so you can run around and do stuff in this. Oh, no, it just went black when I did that. Okay, there you go. So I'm back now. So my characters never have looking up and looking down. No one's ever complained or said anything about it ever. I'm not saying you should never animate or draw your characters looking up or down. There's tons of reasons to. I thought, for instance, when I drew the wolf, I had a game where you played as a wolf with a sword. I always assume this right here, this wolf over here. So I didn't animate him and I draw it going up or down when he moved. And I was a little worried that that would look bad. And I think sometimes it doesn't look the best, but no one's ever said anything. And so whether or not it's just me doing game jams, it does kind of feel like you can cut a lot of corners with pixel art with isometric or top-down perspectives, and people are generally very forgiving. Yeah, so if I was really making a game with this wolf right over here, oh, I can't see my mouse. If I was really making a game with him, I probably would draw all 4 directions at least. And then some people draw 8 directions. It seems really spooky. But one of my biggest tips is just that cutting corners can save you a lot of time. And then also, it's kind of arguable whether or not you should cut corners if it makes the art better. Meaning that, let's say I drew the dog, the wolf dog, going up and down, and it was worse art than left and right. Then it's kind of arguable, like, well, you spent that time drawing it, and then when it moves up and down, it doesn't look as good because the perspective's a little funky, and maybe you don't get it quite right. So there's something we said there about, like, you can cut a corner, and it can make your game even look better. So cutting corners is really, really valuable for my perspective and my pixel art. Victor Garcias. Man, your pixel art is amazing. Oh, thank you so much. What would you recommend as a startup? Oh, geez. Start small. If you start with really giant assets, you're going to probably be in over your head for pixel art. The smaller you do pixel art, I've answered this a million times, so if you've been in the stream and you've heard me say this, you probably know the answer. The smaller you do for pixel art, the more abstract it is, and the more each pixel matters. But if it's 32 by 32 or 16 by 16, you can kind of guess on shapes a lot. And especially that's true for animation. There's tons of times I used to animate run cycles, walk cycles, basically. And you know it's not right, but you don't know where the right pixels are. So you're kind of just like, let's keep jumping them down. Let's keep putting them down. And the more pixels you have, if you go 64 by 64, or some enemies I had that were 32 by 30, I'm not 32, 128 by 128. Holy fuck, was I unhappy with some of those walk cycles, but you're just kind of stuck with them, right? Like, yeah, I could mess with it and mess with it and mess with it, but at some point you have to look to at that point I was coding and I was doing art and a friend was coding. And it was like, at some point you got to hand this art in and go, here's my art. I hope that it's okay. Scrata, do you ever drop the game? Did you ever drop the game with that guy, the cowboy hat? No, so I still have that game and I'm still working on the game. And that's actually my main project right now that I'm focusing on. And I'm not doing game jams for the second month. The Godot Wild Jam is the only one I really do. And that one started last Friday, so like 3 or 4 days ago now. And I'm not doing it. And my reasoning is I think we got to give the main game thing a shot. The problem is, and this is my problem with game dev in general, giving it a shot doesn't mean a month of working. It doesn't mean 2 months of working. It might mean like a year of working. So that scares me. There isn't going to be a constant like content drip like there used to be. When I was doing a game jam, it was about a week of working on the game jam and then about a week of doing the video. My dog is making so much noise back there. Can you see this little guy? Hold on. What a piece of shit. Look at him. He looked right at the camera. The little duder. Look, he's pushing his bowl over there. Hold on. No, you can't really see it. Now okay, hold on. I have to go grab that. But I will answer all your questions. Yeah, 1 second. Let me just grab his bowl because he keeps hitting it. One second. got water. Okay, chill. He needed... Okay, so he usually does that when he needs food. This time he needed water, so that was kind of important, I guess. But a lot of times he gets snacks and then he eats all his food and then he fucking starts... He flips the bowl over and then he pushes it around the apartment because it makes noise. Look, he's still going back there. He's just... He's lonely now because there's less people in the apartment, so he's just kind of... I try to walk him more and play with him more. But these kind of streams are not good for that because I don't pay attention to him enough. But you can see him walking around back there. There's a giant bone behind me on the ground. Oh, geez. Perspectives are hard. This bone. That was actually the dog before his bone. The dog before him, his bone. We had a bulldog named Elvis. There's a really big bone, so he's too small to even pick that bone up. But everybody chilling in here. Smash that like button. You don't have to smash the like. I don't know what anything matters. I say this every time I stream. These are for me. It's for me to get comfortable with it. I spend way too much time procrastinating going live and being afraid that, like, mostly you guys won't ask any questions because that's what makes it interesting and fun for me is when you guys ask them questions. It doesn't have to be game jam related. Most of the things going through my head are relationship related right now, or being alone related, or being comfortable with being alone. A lot of ups and downs. Kobe, what's going on, buddy? I miss you. I was going to scroll up here a little bit. If I scroll, does it fuck with everything? Hold on. Do we have chat on screen? We don't even have chat on screen. Okay, there we go. Sorry, guys. All right, dog. Yeah, there was a dog. And I can scroll in here. It doesn't fuck with you guys. Cool. If I scroll this one, it does. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, we talked about the cowboy game. How'd you get into making... Oh, how did you go about making/getting sound effects? Okay, so you should go to 2 websites. I have them saved in my thing. I have a folder called Free Sounds. There's 3 websites I use. I use this website. And it's not for everything, but you just kind of jump in. Pixabay.com. And you can, you know, type stuff in. Look, I have a TAC set here, so whatever you want to type in here and you find stuff. It's really hit or miss, but this, especially for game jams, this is going to help you. I don't know if any of this stuff would be good for a real game. And then let's see. There's 2 more. Free Sounds, which looks like the most, I don't want to say, it looks like the oldest one. Yeah, or maybe they updated it recently. Free Sounds I use quite a bit. Let's see, gun. What does this look like? They did change it. Holy fuck, this looks way different now. I hate sound effects. It's my worst part of any game jam. I hate doing them. It's garbage. Mostly because it feels like I'm just stealing other people's content, right? When you do stuff like this, it's free sounds. You're putting sounds in your game, but for a game jam, right? And then people review your game higher, and that feels kind of crap. Like, no, I worked on a thing. I worked on art for a thing. I worked on code for a thing. I put it all together, and this is my heart and soul. And they're like, you didn't steal any music, 3 out of 10. And you're like, what? How can that be part of it? It's like, no, it just is, because people let it hear sound effects, and that's part of the game juices. The last one I use is Z-Splat. These are the 3 ones I have saved. If you guys have more, let me know. And I'll go in between them a lot. I don't know. One thing I really like about one of our friends, MaxiDev, is that he records all of his audio sound effects. Sounds like it's a mixture of him recording stuff and him finding stuff. That feels cool, because at least then you're creating something, and you're not just taking from online. Nick, what's up? I love Zapsplat. Yeah. All right, I'm scrolling up again to read through more comments that I missed, just because I don't want to ignore you guys. We did sound effects. For pixel art, Monkey Boy asks, for pixel art, do you use like an art tablet with a stylus that connects to PC, or just mouse? So this is partly why I feel like I have imposter syndrome for art, is because I just do it with a mouse, which doesn't feel right. I feel better when I draw. I have a notepad that I'll draw stuff on occasionally. And even if it's worse, I feel like, all right, I'm a real artist, but I do everything with mouse and keyboard, like all of the Photoshop, everything you've seen in every game ever, that's all mouse and keyboard. Mostly, obviously it's mouse, right? Yeah, which feels weird, but I don't know. Pixel art can let you do that. I wonder how many other pixel artists are doing stuff like that. So if you message something, I'm still going through it all because it's fun to go through. So I'll get to you. And where were we? Okay. Wasn't expecting such an good and honest reply. I don't know what replies use. This is why I can't let the comments get so out of hand. All right, we'll scroll down then, because then we'll get to more new stuff. I don't know. Your name has a lot of... Okay. Pierre, and then your name has a bunch of skateboard ramps on top of the letters, and I'm American, so I don't know how to pronounce stuff. So I'm just going to say, you said, I'm new here. Is there a game you're making full-time, or in the process of game jam learning process? So I think the game jam learning stuff is... It's a tool, okay? And I think I've used the tool to what would I say? I've used the tool accurately and to good effectiveness for a certain amount of time. but right now I don't think I'm getting enough out of it to keep doing it. It's French, don't worry about it. Yeah, I don't know how to describe it, but it's the little skateboard ramps above the letters. I don't know. I don't know where to start with that, buddy. I'm sorry. Yeah, so game jams are really good for making development, shoot from the hip, make decisions, see how they play out, and learn from it type of things. The problem is you need a baseline to do all of that. Turn this down a little bit. Once again, let me know if shit is loud or quiet, because for me, sometimes the music feels loud, but then I listen back and it's ultra quiet. Yeah, so game jams are really interesting. So they let you accurately sort of pull the trigger on game design. Having that deadline is like really important. Even now that I'm not doing one and I'm doing Far Gun Frontier, that's the cowboy game. Even though that I'm not doing a game jam and I'm working on that, I can't help but think, holy fuck, I go so much faster when it's a game jam. When it's a game jam, it's like just get it in, get it working. And I don't think it's as buggy. How would I say this? I don't think it's that much worse for how much faster it's coming out. Whatever that ratio is, holy fuck, game jams just get you going so much faster. You mean accents? Yeah, I mean accents. I don't... this little thing on top. Tips for learning code. Don't want to be one of those Control-C, Control-V, Control-C guys. If you are a Control-C, Control-V guy, I feel like you can't be that for very long. Because stuff just falls apart, and no one's game is your game, so you're going to want to do things differently. If you start off Control-C, Control-V, Control-C, Control-V, yeah. If you start off copy-pasting stuff, I feel like you'll be pretty disappointed in it. It's not like going to feel like a cheat code, I don't think. I think it's going to feel kind of like, eh. And then stuff's going to go wrong, and you're going to figure it out. The best tips I can give is that when you want to add something to your game, try your best to understand what's going on there. I know that's kind of obvious, and it can be easy not to do that, but yeah. I think there is some code in Far Gun Frontier, because that's the game I've worked on for the longest, and there's some code that is bad. It's just bad. And I don't know where it came from. It came from some tutorial where I mostly copied, try to follow it, but don't remember anymore. And it's the most hated stuff that I work on. I want to cut it out entirely. Right now, the one that coming to my head is the HUD. I'm doing a lot of HUD work visually, and the code behind the scenes is like shit. I never would code like. I would never code in that way. So it's frustrating, right? Because it feels like it lingers around, and it gives you sort of anxiety when stuff kind of breaks. I open it up and I go like, what the fuck was going on with this shit? Yeah. So, is there any good advice though for not being a Control-C, Control-V programmer? And it's just gonna be learning, right? It's the hardest part, just learning. But it's gonna come natural anyway, so I wouldn't worry too much about it, honest to God. I guess it depends on the program though, because I feel like certain in Godot, I can only speak for that. In Godot, it feels like you have to learn as you go. There's no way you can rely on that. But maybe in other engines, it's not as hard. Bloggy says, "Yo, MZF, just got on the stream. Hope I'm not too late." No. I just kind of started, but we'll see how late we go. Although every time I say that, people are like, "Oh, you said you're going to bed." Shut up! I didn't say I'm going to bed. I'm just not committed to 7 hours. Okay, we're here. What software do you use for music? When I record music, I did all Ableton. And then before that, I actually did a lot of music in Audacity when I was like a young kid, which kind of cycles back to me using Clipchamp now for video. For video editing, I use a software called Clipchamp, and it's sort of a big meme because it's not made for the videos that I do. It's made to clip stuff and be a champ, a big old Clipchamp. But yeah, it's funny looking back. I did so much music in Audacity because it was just, I hate learning new programs. I view like the program stuff as like, what's the fastest way I can get to having my creativity get out? Man, I never heard the end of that song. I had to skip that one. I never heard the end of that remix because I always use it for videos, but I cut it so fast. That was not my jam. It like started editing. It fucking threw me off so hard. Audacity's really good though for it's just sound effects, I think, if you're gonna do stuff like that. And then Ableton's what I use for music on my music channel, which I can. I started YouTube in 2006. All right, that's how you know I'm booming. And I had an old YouTube channel called Zethi Guitarist, and I haven't uploaded in a long time. Sometimes we revisit this. This is old edgy me. This is me from like college, and it's gonna play music. Stop. Okay, no, it didn't. And then so I did all this music is done in Ableton with like Superior Drummer and mostly just recording guitars. Although there's some piano stuff, but piano's all MIDI. And I liked Ableton. It's really fun, and you get to learn tricks. I'm just not a big believer of jumping programs, I don't think. Because even now that I go to doing some sound effect stuff and music stuff for my games, I go right back to Ableton. Because it's like, well, I don't want to relearn stuff. It's just such a waste of time sometimes. Yeah. Let's see. FL Studio? Yeah, FL Studio was good. Is FL Studio free? I feel like... Google it. FL Studio. It's not free? Oh, fuck me. Okay, never mind. I always thought it seemed like a cheaper option. No, it's not. Holy hell, it's not. Yeah. Okay, this costs money. I remember for Ableton, I was in college, so I got it off some kind of discount for going to college, but my college degree did not account for this at all. And then I also convinced a friend. I was like, listen, it's going to be so cool. Let's just split it 50-50. So, well, how much does Ableton cost? Hold on. Let me bring that up. I don't know. Was it like 7.0 I had? It doesn't matter. What does Ableton cost now? We're up to 12. Jeez. Shopping. Oh, Ableton's not that bad now. Yeah, no, like a couple $100. Hold on, this is all soft hardware though. $544. That's not that bad. I feel like we had a discount to 500, and then I convinced a friend, let's go halfsies on it, and he never used it, but I got to pay half the cost, and he had a Mac at the time and I had a Windows, so I was like, I'll take all the Windows like install stuff, and you can take all the Mac stuff. And then like a couple years passed, and I was like, that was a big waste of money for him. I felt really bad. Yeah. And then I still have Superior Drummer. I still have like all those somewhere. Just started making my first game today. What kind of game were you making? Rito? Godot, yeah, but what kind of game? All right, you got to make an MMORPG as your first game. It's a rite of passage. We all here have done it, right? Bloggy Nick, we've all made an MMORPG. Come on, who hasn't made one of those? Simple. Also, we could Discord chat if people want to. It depends. Sometimes I feel like if we Discord chat, I don't know. I'm like, all right. I don't have the most interesting things to say sometimes. But if you guys want to talk, I will listen. All right, that's more fun for me. Also, we can show off some stuff we worked on. So let's see. We can. How do I break this? I don't have. There we go. Ugh. Oh yeah, Sunseeker. No, close that. Don't want Sunseeker up. There we go. Yeah, so this is where we're at now. It's insane to think that this was 2 weeks of work. Like, it almost bummed me out. Like, 2 weeks of work? That's 2 separate game jams that I've done. Oh, I can't see the mouse for some reason. Hold on, let me... Not full screen. Oh, God, can I find it? All right, Alt F4. Also, does this show up? No, it doesn't. Okay, so we're not going to full screen it because it seems like it breaks it. There we go. Keep it like that. Okay. All right, so we added this today in the bottom right here. You can't see because the chat's there. Move chat up here. Okay. Before, whenever you killed stuff, this is the lantern energy, which I understand it's moving really fast. Also, the particles are drawn. They need to be fixed. That's no good. What's happening there with the particles? Hold on. Not acceptable, guys. That's 2 weeks of work. Get out of here. Let's refresh that. Let's see if this is any better. No. Why did I... Okay, I drew them today, and I don't know if I was on hard drugs or what, but it does not look right. Do you see how the these particles down here, they kind of like fade out and die real fast? That's not right. They should be looping, because they're drawn in Photoshop to try to save time. It's a platformer, Rito? Oh, well, listen, platformers are good too, but it's no MMORPG. That's all I have to say. Yeah, you got to remake Godot in Godot, so that way you can really understand the engines, the ins and outs, and then from there you could pretty much make any platform you want. I can't right now because it's like 3 a.m. plans. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, this was a lot of work recently, and so the most important thing I guess I did was that this menu now exists. And this is for weapon mods. If you've been here recently, I've sort of showed it off a little bit. So all these circles are blacked out because I'm not currently holding a weapon. And then we can spawn those are weapon mods. We can spawn all the weapons. So that's every weapon in the game, plus there's one up there and then one in there. Okay, so that's like 7 weapons. That hasn't really changed in a while. This is the sperm gun. We all know it and love it. So when you pick up the weapon, it loads this down here. So now we have the bullets, which dynamically change. So, Jesus Christ. So, when you have like more or less weapons, like the bullets will get bigger and smaller. Kind of a small little thing. Like they get smaller there, they're bigger there, and then they're really the smallest there. Still takes up a lot of space, so we might change this. We'll see. Make it even smaller. Then on the left here is a level up system, and then we have the level right there. It says level 1. That was my first pass at it, so if that looks kind of boring, it's going to get more interesting. Okay, shut up. I can already feel the hate comments coming in. All right, so there's 2 little circles here. So this is your ability to pick up mods. So when a weapon is level 1, you can only hold 2 mods. So we'll pick 1 up here. It shows up here, and then guess what? You can finally drop them. Oh my god, this is the game right now. My webcam's blocking everything. Thank you, Sword. Okay, let's move it. Boom. Let's go up here. Okay, so yeah, here we go. So like, now you can see. So things kind of change. They animate and they flop down there. Thank you so much, Sword. I always forget that I have shit blocking stuff. Okay, so much better. Yeah, there we go. And the weapon mods, hopefully this doesn't break. So right now, I can spawn a bunch of weapon mods, like right here, right? So they're all on top of each other right now, which needs to be fixed. But, oh, this song is too loud. Okay, perfect. So if I pick this up, it's going to try to pick up every weapon mod, which should be like, I don't know. Let's say like 5, right? Hopefully, if this works correctly, every time I do this when I go live, it breaks, which it's good. It's like a litmus test. Hopefully it should acquire 2 mods, put them in here, and the other mods it should respawn back on the ground. Because what happens when you go to pick them up is the hit detection from the icon on the ground says, yep, you have an empty spot, put it on. The problem is it has to load the mod, so by the time it gets to loading it, it might already be taken up, meaning that, let's say it takes like a fraction of a second to load a mod from the ground to the weapon. And that fraction of a second, that slot could be taken by another mod, because in this situation, there's like 5 stacked on top of each other. So I wrote code to say, if that's the case, drop that shit on the ground. So here we go. It should probably work perfectly. Yeah, okay, so it spread them all out, and then we got, this looks like a bug. We have 2 of the same mod here, but that's because, that's actually, okay. Oh, there is a bug, though, because I have something on there that shouldn't be on there. Okay, yeah, we found a bug. God damn it. Let's see if it goes away. It did go away, so that's good. Okay, so basically there was a mod that was held over, but when I switched weapons, it went away. Still something to figure out. It's definitely sloppy code, but if I can get it working, I'll be happy to like walk away from it, basically. Okay, does having all the bullets matter? Maybe you could have a line bullets. Yes, that's exactly what's happening with this this weapon here. So the Gatling gun, Gambit's its name, right? It doesn't show all the bullets. The bullets go off screen here on the bottom. And I just haven't gone through and done it, but basically what I'm going to do is write out like X whatever, like, or a number, you know what I mean? Exactly how you have there. So that way, although you might be saying just in general, maybe we can make all the bullets much smaller, which might be the way to go. Because honestly, taking up this much real estate on the bottom of the screen does kind of feel like overkill. So it might be interesting to only go like 5 deep, because I think it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It goes 9? Damn, I did not know it went that far. Yeah, because that does seem like over. I mean, you can put this back, so that opens up some space. Yeah, so the bullets are going underneath the screen here. So basically, the bullets start in the top left, and then they work their way to the right, and then make a layer underneath, and so on and so on. So right now, the Gatling gun, that gun is only fun when you have enough bullets to really get it started, because it starts firing slow, and then as you hold down the mouse, it gets faster and faster. What I found is that if I maxed out the space on the screen there, it was never fun. So I needed even more than you could see, so that way it could be fun. And this is where I landed on. But I just need a little indication that's like you have extra bullets, you just can't see them. I can spawn enemies here to fight. Also, I made it so for a while when you rolled, it would stop the charge, because obviously you're not shooting, so it would like reset. That wasn't fun. So now I have it as you roll, it holds the speed, so you can roll and like almost burst it. I know that's not accurate to like the nature of the gun, but holy fuck, did that feel so much more fun. Because instead you were like stopping and then restarting, like, no, I just reloaded. That's sort of a bad example. But then you can't see the bullets disappear. Yeah, you can't see the bullets disappear, but that's okay, I think. I think that's okay for the most part. I'm back to remind you to play Deep Rock Galactic again. Didn't I say it wrong last time? Deep Rock Galactic. What did I say? Or is that not the name? I can never tell if I'm getting trolled. Deep Rock... No, it is the name. Okay, I said it right. Yeah. Thank you, Warren Park. I don't want to say fuck you, but thank you, Warren Park. I appreciate it. Why should I play this game? Is this like a roguelike? Is this going to get me addicted and I'm going to quit YouTube? is this gonna dox me every time we show stuff? It's like, do you want to buy this game? Here's your social security number. Oh, I didn't know it was like an FPS. Wait, is it FPS? Jesus Christ. Scotty, your art style is so good. Thank you so much. It's just a pretty fun game. There are a lot of pretty fun games out there, and the only way I can keep on the game dev journey is to avoid every single one of them. Because goddamn, do I have an addictive personality? Everything I do is like all or nothing. So yeah, for the game dev stuff, that's why I do game jams so much in the past. Cause it's like, let's just do it. We won't think about anything else. We'll just focus on this. The UI and overall art in this game is amazing. I don't know if you meant Deep Rock Galactic or what I'm working on, but either way, yeah, I don't know. I didn't see the Deep Rock Galactic stuff, but Deep Rock is fun, but it gets old fast in my opinion. We need more game opinions, okay? I need more hot takes for gaming. So maybe the stream should be game nights where we play dumb shit. Although it would be way more fun if we could play dumb shit together. I don't know. It's so much work though. Who knows? Yeah, this is bugged. Wait, no, is this bugged? No, it's not. Okay. So the reason why I know sometimes stuff is fucked up is because I can see on the gun. Let's see. Remote camera. Y sort player camera. Can I zoom in? Zoom is 0.75. Let's go 0.3, 0.3. Okay, there you go. So I just zoomed it in manually in the remote tab, which is cool that you can do that. So the reason why I know stuff can be fucked up sometimes is that I see two mods here. I can't really point at it because of the mouse, but on the very right side I see this mod right here. So as I drop it, it should fall off. And then the very bottom I see this mod. So when I see this is how the gun should look normally. But there was a moment where I picked up 9 mods at once and it dropped a bunch. And one of them was still on. And it was like, it was concerning. So you don't want to see that. That one worked. Yeah, I'm not sure why it happens or what's going on, but there's got to be some way to like... There's got to be some way to figure that out. But basically the code seems like it works 80% of the time, which is not a good number. There have been better numbers. Let's try it again. So this is just me loading in a bunch of mods. I can only hold 2, but there's going to be like 20 here. And let's see what happens. Okay, so that one broke a lot. So you'll see how like there should only be 2 mods on my gun here. And don't mind that they're the same mod twice, because the way that it works is that when I pick up a mod, it removes it from the mod pool. So because I didn't pick any of those up and I was spawning a million at once, it spawned a bunch of copies, right? But here's the problem. It should only have... Oh, I think I know. I think I just figured out the bug. Holy fuck. Well, maybe. Well, it might be something to do with the fact that when you despawn a mod, it's looking for the mod's name, and it finds the mod name in the list and then it removes it. I wonder if it's finding the same one and considering it done, even though it should find the next one in the line. Meaning if there's 3 amplifiers, it might just find the first one 3 times and go remove, remove, remove. I don't know if that makes any sense. That's how you tell I'm not a coding guy. Also, the game does not like when I'm this zoomed in. It has some stuttering things. That's so wild. That's a little concerning. That's the kind of scary stuff. So anyway, I feel like if I pick up a new weapon, it's gonna fix this. We're gonna be down to just 2 amplifiers, 1 amplifier. So that's even weirder. Oh, I can't pick this up. Okay, okay, there we go. We can now. Weird. Okay. Yeah, this is some buggy code, and we need to fix it, but God, fixing code does not make for a good YouTube video, so now I don't know what we're going to do here. Was it difficult to make mods visually appear on the gun? Not so much, although now we're running into issues with it, like bugs and stuff. But without the dropping mods, and here, we'll sit down here, and it should fix my camera. Yeah, okay, the camera's fixed. Remain silent, and get up. Is it still stuttering? It is still stuttering. Interesting. I wonder if something is like spawning in, like if there's something I forgot to tell the queue free at one point. There is something about going live and showing the game live where it just gets way buggier. Or maybe I just try to break it more often. But no, it wasn't super tricky. So, well, I'll show you what I'm doing, but I don't think it's the best way to do it. Which is mostly what I say whenever I work on any code stuff. Let's see. I need to find any weapon. Let's find like the revolver. And what's basically happening is that there's 3 little spots that mods can exist on. And every time you pick up a mod, maybe gamut. Yeah. Okay. So this is the weapon, right? Oh, this is perfect. You can see it right here. I'll turn my camera. There we go. Okay, this remix also gets bad. There's so many remixes that are so good in the beginning, and then I only ever use them for the first couple seconds of a video. And then we never heard the end of these, so... Also, let me know if I didn't answer anything you guys are saying. So we're just gonna keep going. So right here it has front mods position, bottom, and top. That's how I place them out. So there's things that are going like the barrels, things that are going where the scope would be, and things that are going where the clip would be. I know that doesn't make sense for every weapon, but that sort of has to be the case. So that way I can put every mod in a different place. I think initially the thought process would be that you'd have a limit, and certain guns would let you have more or less in certain spots. But it's too complicated. It's too much dumb stuff happening. So instead, what I settled on is just there's a certain amount of mods a weapon can have, and as it levels up, you can have more mods. And whatever, if you want to have 1,000,000 mods on the same spot, it seems like it's fine. And then there's another one called hidden mod spot. So this mod spot is just always hidden. So there is a situation where you have like 10 mods on the barrel, and it looks really dumb. I like that it looks dumb, but it does look dumb. And I want to stop you from adding. So you can still pick up mods, but it just doesn't show them. But anyway, all that's happening is that these are they HBox containers? They are. So they're HBox containers, and then when you pick up a mod, they just slot in. And the nice part about that is when you drop them or remove them, it adds them in the same width, so that way they look like they're connected. Let's see if I can show this. But it actually was more simple than I thought. Let's see if we can load some of the same ones. Yeah, this is perfect. So an amplifier and a quintizer. I've never said these ones before. I just named them, right? So you pick it up and it goes to the right side of the gun there, and this one go after it. And so now if I drop the one that's in the middle there, the quintizer, it should, yeah, it goes, it like loses, it connects to the gun. So I felt like that was a pretty cool way to do it. Basically just the way the HBox, these control nodes work, is that they just, when something's not visible or it doesn't exist, it takes up its space, which worked out really well. Hold on, let me move something. All right. Yeah, so that's where we're at with Fargun Frontier. We did a bunch of UI stuff, and what sucks is that I have to keep working on it because it's obviously bugged. But hopefully it's not a hard bug. Sorry, solving bugs isn't the worst thing ever, but so what was the way you were seeing the bug? I didn't catch that. So what I saw originally, let's see if we can recreate it. So I'm going to drop these mods, right? And it's kind of an, I don't know how common this will be to happen because you're not going to spawn a bunch of mods on top of each other like this. So this might be an edge case that I don't have to worry about. But basically, if I have a bunch of mods here and we look at the gun, I should, theoretically, even though there's like 10 mods stacked on top of each other and they're all going to load at the exact same time, theoretically what should happen is that 2 of them should slot into these spots on the left here, right? And the rest should, there's a code to say drop. Like if there's no spots open, just drop, get rid of them. But the problem is that they get rid of them on the mod selection screen here, and they put them on the ground, but they're still on the weapon. So let's see if it happens here. See, what's weird is that one worked perfectly. So there's 2. There's the frost one on the barrel here, and then on the clip, I can't point with my fingers, but there's 2. You can see them both. There's this one and this one, right? And this is working really well. And then if I drop this and drop this, it's just the revolver. That's the really plain revolver. So that one worked well, but there's, maybe it has to do with the amount that I try to do at once, but okay, perfect. So now look at this one. We should only have 2 mods on our weapon, right? We dropped all the rest of them, but no, we have like 10. So like, what's happening there? And I can drop these 2. Also, the gun is insane now, right? Or is it? I don't know. I guess with this it's insane. I don't know. This is, some of the mods are fun, which I'm happy about. But so anyway, this mod is insane, by the way. This is the most expensive mod I have in the game, and it does some weird stuff. Doubles bullets. It does some wacky stuff with the bullets too. But anyway, so the gun should only have, it should have nothing. But what's interesting is that, so now in the back end of this, there's a global singleton or whatever in Godot that has a list of all the mods that are on the weapon. So that is actually correct, and that, how I know that's correct is that if I go pick up another weapon here, like this shotgun, it should have no mods on it. Yeah, look. So all those mods just went away, and if I pick up the pistol again, they're gone. So that was like an artifact from when I had all of these mods here, when I loaded them all up. They were removed. The remove code went through. I'll show you what the problem, I know what the problem is. I just don't know why. So now we're just doing like my therapy session for dumb shit I've done. So this is going to be amplifier UI. No, it's mod something UI. Mod UI class. Okay. Yeah, this is garbage code. Don't mind me. I don't know what I'm doing. Pause this so it runs fast. Okay. So there's a function called dropped. When you drop a mod, it says Are you currently dropping a mod? If no, then yes. That's to stop some dumb shit from happening, okay? Makes it invisible so that way it doesn't try to do stuff. We have bad code here that finds... That's bad. Never do this. This is what I do because I don't know what I'm doing sometimes. And we're too far in deep to do other stuff. This is not what the problem is. This code here is making the mod appear on the ground. So if we hit resume here, when that code right there does the spawning of Clippy XL on the ground there. That's all that does, right? Really cool. That works fine. Not worried about any of this at all. This is all fine. Then it runs another function called remove mod. Now here's where things are getting bad. This is, don't care. Okay. Remove mod. So first we want to find, in the list of mods called obtain mods, right? In that list, we want to know if we have that mod, right? So we're looking for, this is the string that exists. This is the name of the mod, right? And if the number in the list, if it matches that, then that's the mod we want to erase, right? And that's what we do, right? So if it's enabled each, let's imagine it says I, right? If I would be the correct way that I should be doing this, right? That's way more readable, right? So if the first thing in this array is the name of the mod, then remove the mod, right? That seems really simple, and that's always working. Now here's where things getting bad. So I have this yield in here because shit gets really bad without it. For some reason, even if I put this up here behind the break, the queue free, this won't run, and I don't know why, right? I know I'm an idiot. Everyone's looking at me like, are you serious, buddy? So if I put this here and take this out, this is finding all the mods that are in the tree, right? It's asking, I print it, we don't need to print it, but if the mod name is equal to the string name, which is the mod name that we have on here, how do I explain this? This is the mod that exists on the weapon, the physical mod on the weapon. When I move the weapon and it's attached to the barrel, this is what that's looking for, right? If that's mod name is equal to the one we have here's mod name, then it should deactivate the mod. It should get rid of the mod, and then this thing should go away. Here's the problem. This just won't run at all, and I don't know why. And it breaks my brain. But it will run if we wait. I just told it to wait. I was telling it to wait for an idle frame. That didn't work. I told it to wait for 2 idle frames, which looks really dumb in code. That did work. I don't know why that worked, but it totally did work. All right. I'm going to take your guys' silence as you're just stunned by how amazing my coding is, okay? Also, fuck all you guys for judging me, all right? Hey, can I ask how to make the fire look good? Thanks for asking something I know how to do. How to do the lighting and stuff? Dylan Gaming asks, how can I ask how you make the fire look so good and those little lights that float around? Little lights that float around are really easy. We can transition into that because this was more embarrassing than I thought. Yeah, we can talk. Yeah, we can talk about that. The lights. Let's see. Scrata says it tries to add all the mods at once and drops them all at the same time. So what's happening is that when I pick up more than one mod, right? This happens. So there's a function called setup. It's called deferred. So this plays, right? So on ready, it's going to play this thing called setup. And so what setup does is it figures out if there's a slot for a mod, which is the little node thing, right? Right? It's figuring out if there's a slot, this little circle. And then it kind of just makes sure that we call the slot filled. This is what makes the grid work, right? And we do some other little things here. And then this is the important part. So if the slot was already taken and there's no slots left, Dylan Gaming, I will totally get to you. One sec. If the slot is filled, the little circle thing here, right? And there's no slots left, so slot will equal null just because it can't equal, it can't do this. So then we just tell it to drop. And then so what's happening is when we pick up like 5 or 6 mods all in the same frame, 2 of them load in and the rest of them should do this. They should do drop. And they do drop. They do execute on this drop function. And I know they do because we see the mod actually land on the ground. We'll do it one more time. We errored out there because I think we ran out of mods to do. Sorry, one second. I did. Thanks a lot, Henry. Load 1. We put a 1 in there because we were hitting 1 a bunch. Okay, so we'll show it one more time, right? This is the bug. And the bug only appears sometimes. And I know the problem with the bug. Wow, 3D. Never know what that is. Script. It has to do something with the yield for sure. I know it does, but I don't know why I even need the yield. It should just work, right? Let's look at it one more time. So this always happens. This removes. This is the global singleton. It removes it from the list. So that's the reason why I know this is working. So if we pick up a separate gun, it doesn't transfer these fake mods over. These fake mods disappear. So I know this is happening. But then this piece of code here is just saying get rid of the mod that's actually on the gun. Whatever mod is actually on the gun right now, you got to get rid of that because that thing is not actually there, right? We've deleted it from the list. We've dropped a copy of it on the ground with this code up here. So you need to remove it from the weapon. It can't just have it. Then the weapon has a mod it didn't earn, right? And so when we have one, it almost always works. We have one here. It's on the bottom of the gun, right? Look, and it went away. So that worked perfectly. But now when we do a couple, let's see. A couple worked just fine. We have 2 on the weapon. And now there's none on the weapon and there's 2 on the ground. But then it feels like if I don't know if it's the frame rate getting fucked or something. Let's keep doing some more. Right, so now there's a bunch of them. I don't know how many. Let's try this now. Oh shit, some fucking shit broke here. Index max ammo 0. Oh, that's not wrong. What the fuck? Okay. We fixed that. Okay, the code's breaking in other ways now. Nick, hey, do drop. I love it. You guys are the best. Wow, how helpful. All the good suggestions. Alright, you know what? Fuck you guys. We're doing lighting. Let's do lighting tips. Everyone loves lighting tips. Let's talk about lighting. Here's what you got to do for lighting. Make your game real dark and add some lights to it because that's how you're going to make it look good. Let's see. Test level. Where's my level? Desert room. Is it even possible to have that in mods in the base game? That's a great question. I don't know. There's not many mods, right? The problem is if you I don't want the character to walk into 2 or 3 mods and this little bug sort of exists. And now once in a while when you walk over 2 mods at the same time, your gun is just like not functioning intended. Like that's my biggest fear. Where's my level? Test level. The classic. Okay. Let's see how to do lighting. So we have these orbs here and they're really simple. Room orb. Let's find room orb. Did I name it that? Was I smart enough? Orb. Simple orb. Resave always. I don't know why. Sure, why not? Oh, Mitch, hey, what's up, dude? Yeah, I don't want it to be inconsistent. So this is lighting orbs. This is a really bad one though. I've done better ones in the past. So when I was like really, is this not even? What's the art for this? Simple orb.png. Simple orb. Did I not even filter it? No, I did. Okay. Okay, yeah. So that's if you don't filter your pixel art, it'll look like that. Which doesn't like look that bad for special effects like orbs, but no, we want pixel art, baby. That looks better, Copium. That's what I want it to look like. So orbs are really simple. I wish I could see it. I could go into test level and put it there. Test level. Did I really close test level? What happened there? Oh, there we go. It's over here. Okay. Room orb 7 is what we want. Should probably could organize these better. Yeah, so this is just a little light, right? And then the lights you can just do in Photoshop. They're really simple. This is what I did. Let's see. Let's find this one too. So what you're doing is you're making a sprite here, and then you're putting a light 2D on it, and that's kind of it. That's the whole thing. Orb, not circle. Yeah. Listen, I don't know. I call it an orb. What am I supposed to name it? Okay. Yeah. You put a little sprite down, and you give it a light 2D. And then all I do with between here and the code is that I'm just telling it to move a little. And this is like really early on. Like I might have coded this literally a year ago, and I know how to do it better now. Yeah, you can see I'm doing like these exported variables. I don't know if you need all this, but it's just giving it a place to go to. It has a position 1 and a position 2. I think nowadays I would do something a little different because now basically it's going to go in a straight line. It'll go from like here to here to here. It's kind of obvious, right? If you're watching an orb, just do that over and over again. So I think now what I can do is like 4 different ones and you have them sort of meander around. And then you can like tell them where to go. But they're really, really simple. I'm trying to think of other things for lighting. That's the orb. And then I'll also do room lights. This is particularly laggy because I have a lot of dumb stuff going on. This would be a room light right here. It's in the secret wall. Secret. Did I really name this secret wall? Secret wall left. So I made one secret wall ever. It's called secret wall left. Always resave. I don't know why. And it has a little light here. Let's see. Close that. Let's see. Where is my light? Open path has a light here. Yeah, just really basic stuff like that. And so what I do is I go into Photoshop. You can see it here. Room light PNG. Let's bring that up. So this is how you do lights. You would just draw this in Photoshop. Show in File Manager. Show extra large icons. Yeah, this is all they are. Sometimes I'll try different things just to be interesting or have them make hopefully look better. This is probably the most basic one I ever did, right? This is what I drew. I just do some, you can do some Photoshop. You just take a brush. What do I have in Photoshop right now? This is my settings for my camera. Did not help. It did not save them. File, new. Doesn't matter. For lighting in Godot, you want it to be a black background. And then you would just take a brush, turn it into the brush tool. This is literally all of this is, right? DX. And look, there. That's lighting. That's it. And then you put this little file, you save this out, and you put it on top of an orb or something. And that's going to be, almost exactly the same thing, right? Yeah. And then there's some weird ones where I'll grab, like, I'm just doing this on the fly, so if this looks bad, it does sometimes it looks better. Okay. Yeah, that looks bad. Okay. Hold on. I swear I know how to do this. So you can do like little tricks where you have like beams coming out of the sides, but you want to like, yeah, something like that. I don't know. Listen, like that's kind of good. Just make it look very invisible and tell you it looks good. That looks good, Copium. Yeah, you can do like little things like that, which I think I've done for, oh geez, that was a little too much. It depends on, that almost works for more circular ones. I think I've done that for one of them, and then I rotated a bunch. I don't know where that one is. Or like this one, like this is like a bigger light, and then I added like fake shadows. And this looks kind of bad here, but no, I promise you, it'll look good in game. Copium, just put it in. Would adding a interact key or delay in some pickup do anything that would not be something you would want the game plays? You would want for the way the game plays. I like the Isaac feel if you walk over a thing and you get that thing. But here's part of the issue, right? There's no collision on mods on the ground. And so some of the solution here is like, let's take this and spawn every weapon, right? Which I think is 2. Yeah, that's 2. So if I spawn every weapon, that's 6 weapons. There's a 7th one, and the 7th one always spawns in this room here, right? Cool. The sperm gun. So this is 7 weapons, right? And so this should work. Guess who's back again? Hey, crazy cap. This should work. So when we jumped over the mods sort of broke when we did them all in quick succession. This hopefully, God, I don't even want to do this because what if it breaks? I'm going to feel like a real idiot. So if I pick these up, they should all work. Just go nice and slow. Cool. Look at that. They're all working. They should also work when I go fast. So if I roll through them. Yeah. Maybe a little stuttery, but that's okay because the game's not meant to be like you're picking up guns and running them and throwing them. Right. And then even when we shoot guns, everything is working. Yeah, that one works pretty well. I think there's a catch-all to say when the gun is loading, there is like a global variable that's like the player can't pick up a weapon route. And when the gun's totally done loading and everything's good, that variable switches back and it goes, okay, he's good to pick something up. So when the game is running really fast, it feels like there's no variable at all. But if there were some issues or some loading issues, it would probably prevent me from picking up a gun in the line. But yeah, so that works well. But here's the problem or the issue, the solution with this is that there's collision shapes on all of these weapons. So none of the weapons are spawning right on top of each other. They're in a line right now, but just in general, when they spawn, they always have a little place that they can exist and other weapons can't exist on the same exact spot, right? Collision is what I'm describing. But the weapon mods don't have that. So maybe once I add that in, they'll all spread out and that'll help. Maybe. See, okay, so this is what I'm talking about with the broken thing. So we should have 2 mods. We should have, what is this one? Is this double down? This is amplifier. And we should have the double arrow one, right? But instead, we have like 2 amplifiers, and 3 other mods. We have 5 mods, right? And then without even dropping anything at all, I'm just going to pick up the shotgun. And now we have 2 mods. Right? So that says to me that the back end is totally working, but it's not running that line of code that says delete this from the actual weapon. I don't know why. I think in the time it spent me ranting about that, I could have probably solved it, but we didn't solve it. I think if there's any more lighting tricks, the other big lighting trick that we didn't cover here is, let's pause this so it runs smoother. There we go. A canvas modulate. Canvas modulates. Always gotta have this. Okay. So this is the color for this. Is like this green thing, but if we just make it normal, this is what the game would look like normal. Resume. And this looks really bland, but this is kind of like what the game looks like in Photoshop. And actually, if we turn fog off, it's really what it looks like in Photoshop. Actually, it looks better without the fog. Sometimes you add layers of visual elements, and they sort of play against each other. So in that case, maybe the fog was sort of hurting me. But yeah, canvas modulates, I feel like, really help. I've said this before, like compressors, they really bring everything together. So they're just adding a color that's going to hit every aspect of the game, every art asset, and it gives it a more unifying feel. Also just makes it darker, and when it's dark, the lights can really pop. Maybe running a check for mods in the slot, if that's even a thing. The problem is, I don't know how this is happening, but it's skipping code, which I don't understand. Also, the ambience is so good. Thanks, I really appreciate that. That's definitely the stuff I like to do the most, and the stuff that seems to be people like the most is when I do ambience. So definitely have to do more level design and drawing more art assets, because this coding stuff and UI stuff, there's no video to be had here. We don't have enough cool, interesting stuff. Probably a Godot glitch, just blame the engine. Finally, someone in my corner. Nick, you get 4,000 social credit for that. Bing chilling. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Yeah, we'll figure it out down the line. But for now, I am happy that for the most part the mods are working, especially when you don't do crazy stuff like that. If you just pick up a mod and drop a mod, this all seems to be working well. So that's good. And then we also have the weapons leveling up. So if we kill enough enemies, you don't have to kill them with the weapon, which is funny because the TNT works way better in this situation. But yeah, so it'll go up to, let's kill someone. It goes up to 2 there, and now we have 4 mod slots here. And then that should all work. We should be able to pick up 4 mods. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. And then also these should all carry over to other weapons. But no, it doesn't, right? Because this is a lower... That's a thing that's kind of working here, which is good. So we had 4 weapon mods on, right? And we picked up a weapon that had a lower level, because it doesn't... Your level of your weapon doesn't translate weapon to weapon, right? Like how the new HUD looks. Thanks, Keith. I appreciate that. Also, Keith, you're here. I thought you were gone forever. Maybe you have more time before you're gone forever. But yeah, so we went from a level 2 weapon, which had 4 mod slots, to a level 1 weapon, which just has the basic 2. And yeah, it dropped those mods, which is good. I'm afraid to walk into all this stuff because I feel like it's going to break something. Okay, good. This is a 4. And with the 4, we can pick up this stuff. And we're good. So, like, the basics is there, but there's some bug stuff I just need to, like, iron out, right? Do you have any character customizations like clothes, costs, or pets? No, I don't have any kind of character stuff right now. Mitch, I'm not certain of this, but I think it'd be fun to animate the collision of the TNT explosion so that further away enemies get a small delay on damage. That could be interesting. Add more TNT. Honestly, initially this explosion animation with the skull was not made for this at all. It was just a fun animation that I drew, and I had no place to put it, and I was like, fuck this, I'm putting it in. It's for the gram or whatever, it's for the TikToks. And then I've gotten so used to it now that someone pointed it out the other day. They were like, why is it a skull? And I was like, oh yeah, I don't know. I think it was like an enemy used to be able to do it, and then that enemy didn't survive, so what's left is the main character getting to do it. Next on my list of things I really want, I backed down my dogs destroyed the internet. Oh, fuck, dude. Oh, your Ethernet. I'm sorry, not your internet, but really your internet. But I see what you're saying. The next up on my list of stuff I really want to hit, like, this is such a waste of time because there's no videos to do for this, but this UI stuff has to change here. Like, these are icons, and it's very much in the old style where it's like, there's any colors I want. I'm just drawing a bunch of different random stuff. Also, this doesn't stand out anymore now that we're in this... I don't know if we're going to exist in this skull lava edgy place when we go here. It could be more interesting just to go into, like We could do it in like 2 seconds, actually. Well, not 2 seconds. It could be more interesting to go into. Remember, like, what is the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood when they're doing the thing and their brother dies? FMA Brotherhood, like Abyss. What is that cool place they go to? I feel like having. Look, what's the Eye of Truth thing? Remember, like that white place? Am I just talking? Am I booming out here? I think it could be interesting to go into like basically a white nothingness place. There's no good art of this. There's not much there. It's basically a white, and there's like a door, and this thing exists there. I think it could be interesting to go somewhere that, yeah, like something similar to this, where there's like nothing, and it's you and the cat. That might be way better. I feel like the edgy lava thing was fun to draw for a weekend, but every time I go here, I'm like, ugh, why did I do this? Like, oh, there's skulls everywhere, and it's real spooky. But like, I don't know. This could be an interesting place to be. Like, we could. If the story goes in that way, right? If we have different levels and you're going to different places, that could be cool. Human transportation. Yeah, exactly. I think early on, I tried just a white background, and I thought it looked kind of cool. And I'm wondering if I should just go back to that. I would watch a video on UI design, or UI. It's personally one of my favorite parts of design. I don't know how I could sell it. We talked about doing stuff that's more less devlog, more video essay style. And I don't know what the angle would be for that. The angle could be something like, well, I could talk about choice, right? How choice matters in games, and my game didn't have enough choice. And part of working on UI meant working on an inventory system, because that's kind of what I really am working on, right? And the inventory system lets you decide now whether you're gonna keep what mods and what mods you're gonna duplicate with this glitch. No, I'm just joking. But what mods you're gonna keep and throw away. So I think that's an interesting angle, but goddamn, I am a little worried about trying any video essay stuff. It doesn't feel like that could be something I'm good at. This is how I sign every piece of paper. This is my name. Yeah, there we go. Signed it. Nailed it. All right, go to sleep. And now, yeah, this is like the normal game. Although these mods are insane. This is going to destroy every enemy. Although I have to reload a lot because I think Double Down takes ammo, I think. I don't know what mods do I have? Oh. Yeah, a lot of these mods take away your ammo, so there's going to be a lot of reloading with this setup. And the shotgun only has 4 shots. But it's a lot of damage. Oh, and the lantern should slow down time, technically. I don't remember the last time I used this, so it it crashed the game immediately. Okay, well, that's the slowest amount of time that we could really do, is no time at all. Because, yep, and that makes sense, because there is no... This function has to go. This does not exist. Update Ember does, but Ember Light Tween does not exist, because that's not even a good... Is there any other Ember Light Tween? Okay. Well, listen, we're finding them one bug at a time. I was like, guys, you're going to see some cool ass shit here. Immediately crashes the game. I think video essays could be cool, but just keep, but need to be secure in your opinion. I think I'm good at opinion stuff. I'm maybe bad at like my own, self-confidence and things. I'll admit that. I'm very self-deprecating. But when it comes to being like Dark Souls 2's dog shit, you should hate yourself for liking it, and just being, really extreme. I like doing it. I think it's fun to do, even if I'm just joking half the time. So I feel like I can make some good points. The problem is I don't script anything either. That's the other thing. You should make it if you scribble on a piece of paper, the cat gets annoyed. I thought it'd be interesting as part of signing these deals if you had to like prick your finger and you were signing with blood, and you're just taking like half a heart away, just as like a decentivization of like doing the deal. Also, it's kind of fun to like, right? You're like signing it in blood. But I haven't done any of that, so that's not in the game, obviously. Have you figured out what you'll be doing in terms of level design? Like tile map, procedural gen, or just one map? So I think what we're going to do is it's going to be each different level. I think the next level, I would love to go into a cabin, if that means you're going to the next level and you see a cabin from the outside in, and there's walls you could potentially bomb. There's secret walls. I don't know if we talked about that, but we saw the secret area stuff. Hold on. We bring up Photoshop here. Oh my god, guys. What an artiste I am. That was beautiful. Remember when we showed you guys how to do lighting? That was so good. My version of Photoshop is pirated, so every time we're just going to restart Photoshop. So that way... I mean, it's not pirated. It's just... Yeah, it's pirated. So we're going to restart it because it gets laggy. Okay. So here's the thing. File new. Come on, you can do it. There we go, Photoshop. It wouldn't be so laggy if I restarted my laptop ever, but I haven't restarted it since the 80s, so we're stuck here. Okay, this, give me a color. Here's what I think. No, not that. Give me the purple. Good. Okay, this is the color. And then give me the pencil tool. Okay, now we're real streamers, guys. Okay, so the first level, no, black. The first level, let's zoom in a little bit. The first level's like this. Right, guys? You following so far? Eraser's not on the right tool. Pencil. This is prime content. This one's going right on the TikTok right here. This is, oh, fuck me. It's on the same layer. God damn it. It's all falling apart, guys. This is not good. Can't be on the same layer. Oh, Jesus. Oh, no. Okay. We're cutting all this. Okay, this is where if we were in Discord, someone says funny things while I do this. Okay. New layer. Your poor RAM. Yeah, it's not. It is not good. Okay. You said it has a pirate theme. No, no pirate theme. The Photoshop has a pirate theme. Yeah, it's pirated. That's the theme. Okay. Let's go over here. Okay, so we have a room. Nailed it. That took 2 more minutes than it needed to. And then we have secret rooms, right? I'm going to keep the bar there so that way you know. Okay, so there's secret rooms that can spawn. They don't have to spawn. This is like the premise of the first level. And I think everything should be based off of this. Okay, right? And then we have the main boss door, right? But it's locked. So you got to be good at the game to get in. You got to beat all the rounds. And then this is not symmetrical. Still not symmetrical. Good enough. Okay. Then you have like the little bonfire. This looks like a camera. How do we draw that? Whatever. You get a little bonfire right here. Bonfire, and then the shop spawns here. The shop comes around here. We don't need any of that. Anyway, that's the game, right? Just make sure this doesn't look like a boob or a dick or anything. Okay, I think we're fine. I think we're good. Okay, and then there's a boss room up here. Not symmetrical. Cool, perfect. There's an item room here. And I think all these assets are really important, right? There's an item room there. Don't need an arrow. That's good. Okay, and the item room just teleports you. It's like over here somewhere. Okay, cool. So this is like the premise for the game, right? And then the secret room, once one of these are established, these little pathways, they just teleport you to another room over here. I just realized I'm doing all this, and if I just Alt-Tab over here and hit 2D, you can see everything. Yeah, this is... Okay, well, that was a big waste of fucking time. See, is that the guy to go now? Bye, Kobe. I just came back. What's he making? He's having a stroke, okay? This is what we just drew, and it's perfect. Here it is. It looks like Hello Kitty disembodied. So this is like the boss room, right? And this is the item room. And then this is like, there's like a secret room, right? Secret. That's secret. Very secret. Okay. So I think this is the premise for the game. But then I think when we go forward into like the next level, we're not going to reuse this art asset. Like this art asset's Gonzo Garbanzo. And all the forest, deserty stuff, you just slightly off. No, yeah, it is going to be slightly off. Everything is going to be more than slightly off. Look, it's perfect now. Okay. So then I was thinking it could be interesting is if the next area you went to, use the same art assets, right? This is too big a room, but whatever. And it was like a desert type thing, and maybe you could have secret rooms here and here and here and here, right? But then there's like a cabin that exists. Let's try arrows. It's like, oh, it's a little cabin that exists. And this is like the second level, right? And there's like a door, and then there's windows or something. And then you go into, this looks awful. I would unsubscribe to me after this stream. This is a rough one. So you go into there, and that's like a second level, right? That could be potentially something interesting. So we could use the desert assets outside here. Like, oh, it's all deserty. And then you're going in here, and we're teleporting you to, and then once you go into, like, locks, right? So you're not going out. And also, once we beat the boss and leave, this level is done. Imagine, Isaac, when you go down a floor, we're going down a floor. We're deleting this, and it's never coming back, right? And then you're going on to another level. Sky9, you're lucky I don't know how to ban you, because I would ban... No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I am an artist. Okay, I promise I'm an artist. This is not an art stream. This is a 11:09 losing sanity stream, where we're just trying to cope with what our design is. So I think our design is going to be level to level. This doesn't look like a bonfire. It looks... I don't know what this is. Just trying to make sure... Okay, good. That's like the little bonfire you sit at. Yeah, you know. Okay. You can see it here. Okay. Look at the art. See, I am an artist. Shut up, Sky9. Okay, this is the art. Hey. Fuck you, you piece of shit. Yeah, so you go through these doors, you go up to the boss room, and then I think going forward, we go into a new world. I think you guys all understand that. That's pretty easy to get. But I think going forward, a couple things have to change, right? Cristiano, what's important is that your game looks incredible and nothing like the Photoshop stuff. What are you talking about? The Photoshop stuff is great. Thank you, Mitch. Finally, someone understands. It all starts with Photoshop scribbles, and then from there, we end up here. Every Photoshop scribble could be this eventually. Or you could just keep it a Photoshop scribble and add some lighting into it, which is what I've done for a year plus now. Okay, but I think going forward, that should be a staple for every level. I think finding the formula is really important, and that's why I'm dragging my feet so hard on pulling the trigger on this level, because so many things are really done. One thing that doesn't feel done at all is the secret area, and I'm trying to put a cap on it. Once the secret area is done and we have figured it out and we're happy with it, I think that's when I can go, I think we're not worried about feature creep anymore. Because here's the problem. The secret level offers really important, and I don't know, we might need more than a secret level, which is the disconcerting part, or the alarming part. Because basically, having a secret area, what I really want to do is I want to add optional challenges, right? That's the most important part. And that's the whole idea behind working on weapon mods that you can choose. We want to add player choice to the game, because without this kind of stuff, there's waves of enemies in a boss fight. Where are your decisions getting made? Well, you're going into a shop and you're choosing what mods you might want. It's like, okay, cool. And maybe in the future we can add weapons there you buy. If you want to swap out a weapon, cool, that's player choice, and that's interesting, but it still does not feel like enough, right? If the shop doesn't show you the right equipment, then okay, you're just kind of like stuck in the run. Hopefully it gets better. Good luck, have fun. But adding stuff like this, where I know the secret area spawns there, I need a gun. I'm going to die if I go in there. Fuck. Not Gamut. Gamut sucks. Adding stuff like this gives that player agency. The problem is having it be a secret plays against that, right? So player agency would be like, I know I can choose a harder path, and that harder path might reward me. And by the way, that's really scary to do, because in games, if you add optional rewards for harder difficulty, you make it so your better players get rewarded and your worst players get fucked, right? Because now your worst players can't do the optional path, so they maybe don't do it, so they have less rewards. And your better players who don't need the reward are granted it. It's a really tricky mindfuck when you think about it, because your default should be like, oh yeah, there should be harder paths with more rewards, but like, ooh, sometimes that is not the way to go. But so I don't know exactly that's like that's a brain worm over here that's poking through. That's like, it's got some problems, and I'll deal with that. But that being said, having a challenge room feels like I think we can make that work. I think there's enough there that I think we can make some kind of challenge worth fighting. How do I say this? I'm not super worried right now that the players going to get the good players are going to get too much better. I brought that up, but I'm not super worried about that. For a while it could have been, but not right now. Guys, is he having a stroke? I think I am, but I read that and I can smile. Not one side of my face isn't down. So we're probably fine. Also, fuck you. Okay, Jesus Christ. Or forces your shitty players to get good. Yeah, you could force your shitty players to get good. Here's the thing though, hiding it is the trickiest part, because when you start hiding stuff, it feels really good to find things, but you have to assume that some of your players will never find them. So then it kind of makes me wonder, how much should I be hiding? Maybe there should be secret areas where I'm just hiding basically rewards, and challenge areas where it's very obvious. Like, this is a challenge, you're taking on a challenge, you're aware that this is a challenge. Because then you could argue that, like, well, players that aren't so good at your game, they could sort of Google online and be like, hey, there's secret areas, and these are kind of the hints. Like in Isaac, there's a rock with an X on it, and once you learn that, you kind of are looking for it. It could be something like that, which would fit a lot better. Also, I'm not really talking to you guys much. I'm talking to my fucking self here, because now I'm realizing this is my problem with the secret rooms. This is why I've been at odds with them and why I've let them be for so long. I love when I find things, though. Yeah, me too. I like finding things. I think it's one of the beautiful parts about video games, is having hidden things when you finally find them. So I don't want to get rid of that. But now we see how we're overscoping things. We're feature creeping. So now we don't just have to cut back to fucking this microphone. When we cut back to this, now we don't just have a secret room and an item room. We also have a challenge room, right? So now I'm like, okay, so now there's a whole nother room over here. And now every floor is going to have these things. Hypothetically, every floor has these things. This is the challenge room. Challenge. That says challenge, not Bing chilling. So do you see how this kind of worries me? Because now I'm like, ooh, okay, going forward, I have to have... I mean, you could argue that you don't have to have an item room every time. Man, I come from Isaac, though. It feels like you should. Mitch, well, I mean, most of your players probably won't see the third part of your game from what I've seen from the achievements. Oh, like how short. Yeah. So I don't think it's a big deal to have things people won't see. I think having areas people might not see makes it more fulfilling. I totally agree with that as well. Some of my favorite games, like Dark Souls, or I mean, Dark Souls will hide entire areas behind missable spots, like entire sections that are like multi-hour long, and it's some of the best feeling in gaming to find. Not that a game like this could do that, but I'm just saying I am a big fan of that as well. You have to limit the downside of never finding the secrets. Anything critical to success should be fairly obvious to find. I agree with that too. But the thing is, you can trick your player into thinking that it was a bigger find than it is, right? Like, I could hide a really dumb small chest. We're stuck in here now, so I can't even spawn a chest. But I could hide a really dumb basic chest, like that just spawns keys or health or bombs. And that would feel really unrewarding, right? That would feel like, guys, this is lame. This isn't really much. Or we could try to think of a more interesting thing to put. My brain goes to lore, but I fucking hate writing cringy lore stuff. I don't have it in me. So maybe we'll find someone that could do something like that. But there are other ways to reward the player that doesn't necessarily change the run. So that's something to consider. Cristiano, you have to, and let me know if I'm saying, I just say it faster every time, so you don't know if I'm saying it wrong or not. You have to limit the downside of never finding the secrets. Yeah, you already said that. Okay, I read that. Yeah. Could throw a randomized item room, so it's a little RNG. Yeah, I think the item, what's in the item room should be randomized, right? That's the Binding of Isaac style. You can spread out opportunities for secret areas or challenge rooms, kind of like Splunky 2. So not every floor has one. Yeah, my default is to think that it should, but why? I think for consistency's sake, so that if you get to, let's say, there is some weird-ass floors, and you didn't find a secret room, you'd be like, well, one has to be here. Do you know what I mean? So it makes it feel like, oh, I haven't found it yet. Let me buy another bomb so I can try this other wall here. It could be there. It would feel bad for me to be like, oh no, this one just randomly doesn't have a secret room. But I think the interesting thing, because here's the thing too. If you think about Binding of Isaac, I don't know how much you guys have played that game, but that's where I derive most of my inspiration from, just because I've played so much of it and I really like it. A lot of times secret rooms are pretty bad, and they sort of taper that with the idea that bombs aren't that good. In my games, bombs or TNT, they are actually way better, right? Because you're lobbing them, they move in a distance, and they do massive damage. In Isaac, you place them down in front of you, and you shoot them with tears, and they just, in general, and they can hurt you. I think mine can hurt you as well, but in general, in Isaac, bombs are arguably pretty bad. So using them as a tool to open doors or find secret paths makes way more sense. It's very similar to Legend of Zelda, right? Bombs in Legend of Zelda are not really a good tool, the classic Legend of Zelda. Hold on, let me grab a drink here. I've been ranting for a while. Why are you wearing a suit? Well, I got out of work, and this is just a coat because I turned the heat off because I'm paying for the electricity now because I'm living alone, and I don't want to pay too much. So I'm still got my coat on, and then I came home from work, and I got a tie. But yeah, it is 11:08. I mean 11:18. 11:18. Which means that I should probably take the tie off. But I have these... Okay, I guess we can. It's a lot of work for a secret, but finding a weapon you can only get via a secret would make me lose my mind. Fuck, that's a great idea. Oh, shit, and they can be bad weapons, but your dumbass will like it because you could only fight it in the secret room. Yes! Cristiano, you just saved the stream. Thank you. Oh my god, I can't wait to troll everyone with that. Wait, 1 second. Okay, here come the good ideas now that we look like we work at a car dealership. Okay. Yeah, wait, weapons is a great idea because weapons don't have to necessarily be good and they're interesting. And as a player, you're really interesting. Make it a bad gun. That's what I'm saying. You could make it like the baddest gun, the baddest gun. This gun, the baddest. I have the worst gun in the game is by far Racket. But as I say that, with certain mods, Racket gets a little insane. And Racket is this gun that shoots, oh, we're really stuck here still? Did I spawn every weapon in the game? Let me see. Let's spawn the rest of them if not. Okay, Racket is this gun here. And the reason why it's so bad is because it's really hard to aim. It's like a shotgun, but it doesn't have the needles, the bullets don't do damage till they hit the ground, so you can't hit anything until it's basically shooting 3 TNTs with their needles. The interesting part about the gun is that it lobs them into the ground. So when you mix this with mods that change the amount of ammo bullets you're shooting, so let's say you're doubling the amount of bullets you shoot. Well, for the revolver, you're shooting 2 bullets. That's not like a great mod. But for this gun, you're shooting 6, right? You start with 3. So a mod like that really has a positive impact. And then also, I think, is it range? I think your range is tied to how long the needles last. So if you have a really high range stat, which is usually typically bad for a lot of weapons, range is like a pretty shitty stat upgrade, especially if it's taking a mod slot. Oh, should I just spawn something? But for this gun, it'd be very good because now you have these needles that are basically proximity mines that are staying in the ground, and if you could keep shooting and keep spawning them, they just kind of hang out. It's the Halo gun. It's the Needler. Oh my god. No, it's not. The Needler's really good. What about a gun that's super hard to use efficiently, but quite good? I think I just explained it. That's this gun, right? This is hard to use efficiently, but what's interesting is that this gun is actually just better at fighting like the waves of enemies, and it's better at that, and it's really bad at bosses. Because for bosses, you don't really want this area denial effect that much. Yeah. Versus, you could get a lot of damage from littering the ground. For bosses, that's not usually the case. Although for a big boss standing still, you could just lob this into them. I don't know. It feels better to have more like you'd say it's like like in a fighting game. You're like zoning. You're almost zoning the enemies. You're like, oh, I'm setting these up here and here. Although the default time could be extended, so that way it functions. Like, look how random that is. Holy shit. Is that really right? I don't know about the code on that one. I like guns that are good for secondary weapons. Like this is good to spam a bit in the beginning of the wave and then switch to your main gun. The only thing is you're not switching guns in combat. That's not happening. When the wave starts, all weapons on the ground disappear. They come back, but they'll disappear. The same thing when you sit down and talk to the cat. I have a lot of code that says any weapon mods and any... Oh, maybe not weapon mods, because you can drop weapon mods while you're in waves. But for the most part, basically guns, they disappear while you're fighting, and then when the wave's over, the weapons all come back and they respawn, so you can switch them out. And my thought process on that is that I don't want to. This is a small reason, but I'm sticking to it. When you shoot like the gun, right? Like let's say we just shot 3 bullets, and then I pick up another weapon. Wait, no, I shouldn't remember that. Hold on. There's some... Oh, Clippy's happening. Okay. Let me just drop Clippy. Clippy is a thing that gives you more ammo, right? So anyway. So this is we have max ammo right now. Let's shoot like 3 times. We pick up a new gun. It's full ammo. We pick up the revolver again. It's back to being full ammo, so we don't have to reload. So I didn't want it to be like you're shooting, and then the strategy is just to keep picking up weapons so you never have to reload. And I know the answer to that is to keep a reload, a current ammo stat, transfer that stat to the weapon on the ground, and then when you pick it up, but I didn't want to do that. It's too much. I give up. Okay, we're not doing it. Instead, it's just you're just gonna be using one weapon. Even the idea of having multiple weapons in the game was a slow process for me to get, because like I said, I came from Isaac and I wanted you to take... In Isaac, you're just taking basically one weapon, your tiers, and you're slowly devolving into like mayhem, and I really like that feeling. The idea of adding different weapons at first felt dumb, because I was like, well, why aren't we just doing it in mods? Why can't everything just be the revolver, and the revolver turns into the Gatling gun, it turns into tea leaves or the sperm gun? I gotta stop calling it that. But why doesn't it do that? And the answer is that there's just some interesting things we can do with bullets that we can't do. Like, I was never going to program a mod that turned your bullets into this arcing thing. I just was not going to have it in me. So I'm glad that we decided on this. Okay, so anyway, we're in the secret room here, and we procrastinated for 4 or 5 minutes. But basically, when we pick this up, 1 of 3 things will happen, and 2 of them are pretty bad. 1 of them is okay in terms of things that can happen. Dylan Gaming, is it a good idea to have a light occluder on the player? There is one on the player, but I rarely ever use it because it's really intensive for the frame rate. Really, how would you say? Yeah, it takes a lot of, I don't know, memory, but yeah, it takes a lot of rendering process. The only time I use it, and I think I will use it going forward, is just for the main campfire to signal to the player that this is like the main thing, because it's not always going to be a campfire. It probably will be in the center of the room, whatever room level we're in. I like that there, and I feel like it's great for this song just modulated. Skip. Anyway, and this one too. I think it's great there, but I don't want to use it everywhere. There's even some lanterns in the main room that use it. I'm over it. I don't want to use it too much. I haven't played Isaac, so to me, comparing a game that is practically the same as Enter the Gungeon in my brain, yeah, and I need to play more Enter the Gungeon. Hard part is taking time to learn this stuff and play it. Because out of the Gungeon we talked about before, I never played enough of it. Keith, you're going to bed. All right, thanks for stopping by, buddy, and I will see you later. Crazy Cap Kingdom. Also going back to the secret chests, you could always do like old Lego games, which I never really played any Lego games. I'm sorry. With like Sea Fleet settings. Secret settings, like big head mode. Oh, I see what you're saying. Secret settings like big head mode, confetti. Yeah. No, I think I want things that don't feel like they're making the game too goofy. Big head mode doesn't. I don't think I want anything like that. I don't think. Okay, let's step on this and see. The weapons aren't going to go away. We're going to be fighting with weapons in here. It's fine. Yeah, this is one of the worst ones. So these are 3 notes, and this is all dismantled. For a while, it would... X is safe, so I'm trying to tell you what's happening there. And this one was upside down. And what was supposed to happen is the X were places you were supposed to stand. And so I tried this like puzzle mechanic, right? Where you had certain places to stand, and beams of death would spawn, and you had to be standing in the right spot. It wasn't fun. So I dismantled it, and what's left now is that there's a little safe spot you get to. But to be frank, I don't like any of it, and it's just got to go. It's just been on the back burner. So I'll show you what this looks like. It's going to start spawning in, and then the safe spot is over here. Not fun. It looks interesting, I guess, but that's about it. And I think it's just basically got to go. There could be room for more puzzles in a room like this, but that one ain't it, Chief. That's all I know so far. All right. Yeah, so for the lighting, this is going to be the only place. We have an occluder on the main character here. And just most lights don't have the shadow. These ones do here. I think it hurts performance quite a bit for what you're getting out of it. Also, it doesn't even look right when I roll. The character will like float in the air while the occluder's below it, if you can really pay attention to that. Yeah. So in general, I think the occlusion looks cool here, and this is nice. But yeah, it's just too intensive. It takes too much work. Also, having item rooms is really interesting because we have locked chests. What's the main topic? It's just me spiraling. Okay, we're just talking about, this is a game called Frog on Frontier. This is my main game, and the problem right now is I want to pull the trigger on creating content and doing what we always talk about, a horizontal slice, making more content and really getting that gameplay loop down. But there's like 1 or 2 things that have prevented me from really jumping in. And as we pointed out here, it's this really did not. What am I saying here? Challenge room. Yeah, this is the part that we never really settled on. Is that there needs to be a decision on like how many rooms are existing on floors and what is their purpose. Man, I don't even know if I want an item room on every floor, right? What are we getting in item rooms? That's the real question. Is it always going to be locked chests? I kind of like that because it gives you a reason to buy keys, and keys are something that exists at the shop. We can pull the shop up here. Also, the shop is pretty modular, so for any level, we can tell the shop to spawn anywhere, like off-screen, and drive in a certain direction. And so that's pretty good. So the frame rate does not like everything I'm doing right now, so we're just going to take the fog off. Yeah. So I like the idea of buying keys and why we should buy them. Right? We can buy some keys here. We can open some chests that we couldn't open before. Getting a weapon mod in a chest, I feel like that feels good to me, right? Because then you don't know what you're going to get. You're spending a resource to look at it. I like the locked chest idea. Yeah, me too. That seems really good because then you're doing like we're doing loot boxes basically. And then this is a normal chest. It spawned money, and then it did spawn a key this time. So it's very Isaac-like. In Isaac, you could just spawn. You could have chest spawn more chests. You could have chest spawn keys. I don't have chest spawning chests. Maybe I should do that. Yeah, solidifying this loop is going to be one of the hardest parts, figuring out what to do for it. But once I get this down, don't worry about this up here. This is, my brain's turning into oatmeal is what this is. But this down here, once we can figure this out, because then also, here's the problem with the challenge room, right? I've been trying to borrow your gun aim style, and my brain doesn't comprehend it yet. My gun aim style. You mean like the code behind it? It's really, really simple. There's a node on the gun. Let's pull it up. There's a node on the gun, like a position 2D node. On like basically the barrel, the very start of the barrel, right there. And then whenever I click, not for this gun. This gun's garbage. Hold on. Let me get a normal gun. Whenever I click, it's gonna get the position of the node. The direction is gonna be the position of the node minus the position of the global mouse position, or vice versa. It's one minus the other. If the bullet goes in the opposite direction, you have to reverse it. If that makes any sense. You're taking the position of the mouse and you're subtracting the position of the node, and that's your vector. And you normalize that vector, so it's, you know, a normalized vector. I don't know how to explain that. And that's all that it is. That's a really basic way to do enemy movement too, if you want enemies to run towards the player. Although if there's something between them, they're just going to run into it because it's like a bullet trajectory, right? So it's a straight path. Nothing special happening there. And then for shotgun, what I do is I take that normalized vector, I convert it into an angle, and then from the angle I add some randomized like plus or minus, because an angle is circular. When it gets to 360, it goes back around. I talked about this before. For a while the shotgun was not firing randomly, but after you convert to an angle, do your accuracy stat there, then convert it back to the vector, you get a proper shotgun where it actually shoots in some randomized path, which felt good, and that's working well. Also, accuracy just works for guns. You can tell they don't shoot in a straight line. They sort of shoot all over the place like that, which feels fun. What's that liquid thing for? You mean like down here, this liquid thing? Oh, on the right side. Yeah, so on the bottom right here, this is the lantern energy. And we've yet to really show off the lantern. That's the other thing we need to pull the trigger on, what we're doing with lantern. Oh, see, the weapon mods still hang out here. Oh, actually, the whole shop is up behind the scenes there. The little guy, look at the little guys back there. That doesn't make any sense. We have to make sure these are invisible going forward. These aren't fun. Let's try new ones. Okay. Sorry, I'm just cleaning up some dumb stuff here. There we go. Okay. So the lantern has basically activated effects. So in Binding of Isaac, I don't know why I always do that. So in Binding of Isaac, you have like an activated item, and you can sort of trade them in and out. Sure, let's try the brain again. This crashed the game last time. But to be fair, it wasn't just the brain, it was everything that crashed the game. Okay, so ideally what you're doing here is you're trading away a heart container. This is like the devil deal in Isaac. There's a lot of Isaac inspiration. I hope I'm doing enough different things with weapon mods and everything to make it different, but there's so much comparisons here. So ideally you're losing a heart container to do this deal. The first one you get for free, so I wrote innocence. You're just trading that away. And you make a wish, and you're wishing for something. And these are sort of generated dynamically, depending on what you picked. And you're supposed to like sign yourself that MZF. I swear I'm an artist. Look, we could do like a little duder. That's a guy. Okay. And right, I wish this saved, but this doesn't. As soon as I hit OK, this is going to go away forever. But, okay, so now when you kill enemies, your lantern builds charge. And also when you shoot bosses, your lantern builds charge. So we can fight a little bit for the wave here. Hopefully I didn't nerf this gun too much. I forget where we left off on it. This gun was doing too much damage, so I turned it down quite a bit. We might have turned it down too much. 0.5 does seem low now. But also, it pierces, and it also, yeah, it's mostly just piercing. So maybe we do need to turn it up a little. It's okay, we'll just get there with TNT. I think before it was triggering twice, so it was basically doing double damage. So now that we've halved it, and it used to like, it would be like what's happening is it's shooting leaves on the ground, and that's like a tick rate when something stands above it. But it's only ticking once now, so it seems really slow. All right, so this filled up. So now when I press E, it's either going to crash the game or it's going to do the effect. Let's see. Okay, so it does like slow motion, and then it's spawning these particles. Is it really slow motion? I mean, the enemies move slow, so you see like his animations are all really slow. Oh, that spider just fucked me up. It also gives you health bars over everything because it's like your big brain, so you can see the health of all your enemies. Which I forgot I did. That is really old code. Which looks a little funky now that I can see it here. But yeah, so the idea is you're putting activated items, activated effects onto your lantern. But they don't swap, so every time you do a new deal with the cat, you're adding another one to the list. And every time you press E, everything from that list is happening. And I think the goal there should be to make things that are really fun, really wacky, And I think it's okay because it's not happening too much, right? You have to kill a certain amount of enemies. Also, there's code behind the scenes to make it so that the more you're adding to your lantern, the less it's going off. I'm not so sure that's happening right now, but it can, right? It can happen. Finally caught you live. Yeah, it's just me rambling and trying to figure out my own game dev monstrosities. But it's fun for me, so we're going to keep doing it. Yeah, so I hope that made sense. It's activated ability, basically. God, this gun needs a buff right now. 0.5 is really low. What I would really like to do is up the tick rate on it. So that way it went off twice before the leaves started to go away. So things should be moving slower like they're... Like this guy should be moving slower in the light, I think. And then look, he moves really fast out of the light. Yeah, I think that's worked. Gang, Jesus Christ, that's fast. Okay, maybe some bugs there. Can't die in our own game. We're too good for this. A mechanic that I took away but brought back was sorry, I'll read something here. You should add a multiplier. You should add multiplier. Multiplayer. Sorry. I don't know how, so we're not gonna. Is the fog simple to set up? Yeah, it's some shader code. Where's my thing? Put myself up there. It is some shader code I found online a long time ago in this YouTube video, and I think the guy took the YouTube video down because I've yet to find it again. And I'm not a code guy, so I didn't write this code. Shader code is probably one of the only one of the only types of code I will copy and paste. And the reasoning being that, like, I'm already struggling with Godot as it is. And the shader stuff seems kind of... I'm not like... No other code's interacting with it in the same way, right? It's not like a movement script or something. Yeah. So this is that code. If ever you wanted the fog, this is the whole code right here. This is... Oh, I'm in the way still. This is everything that makes all the fog. And you could pause the video and do this. And what you're doing is you're taking a sprite... And this is the Godot texture right here. And you're doing a new material, a new shader, and then you're writing in that code. And that is it. That's everything. That'll make all the fog that you see there. So if you ever wanted that, there you go. I don't know where it went online or why it doesn't exist anymore, but this VOD will stay up. Even if it's privated, it'll be in the playlist of live stream stuff. And that's it. This is everything. Maybe in like the Discord we could put it somewhere. But yeah, I think it's really cool. It fucks the game's... performance heavily, so I have options to turn it off, and there are certain things that'll help it. The octaves, this is how many like layers of detail there is. Changing this really helps, and there's some other things that you can change. The scale, yeah, it can kind of help. But yeah, if you want to mess around with it, just be aware that there's a reason why I don't use it for any game jams. I could easily just put this code in every game jam that could be fog, but I don't think it's good practice, even though we're going to be using it for this game. Oftentimes when I turn the fog off, I am reminded that I didn't put enough love into this the environment art. Not for me, not for my taste at least, because I think it looks good. Like I think this whole level looks good. I'm gonna die. Hold on, we're not dying. No, we're not dying. All right, I'm putting. No, fuck. I alt tabbed. Okay, we're good. Hold on. Okay, guys, listen. I'm not losing in my own game. This is very important to me. Okay. And this is with a nerfed gun. You don't even understand how hard this could be. Okay. Imagine the hardest. This is like playing Dark Souls blindfolded, while also playing Hollow Knight, Pantheon level 99 or whatever. Very hard. Okay. You wouldn't understand, guys. You're casual gamers, all right? I'm gaming. Okay, don't die. What would be really cool? Okay, I'm just feature creeping. Now, don't charge at me, dumb guy. It'd be really cool to have like a mini map of like where the enemies are, because the map is big and you can't see them. It'd be cool to have like a black square here. There we go. We beat the level. And now I forgot why we were doing that. Okay, I'm gonna head to bed. Don't stay up too late and go crazy. I think we already did stay up too late and we went a little bit crazy. I think the default cursor stands out a bit too much. It 100% does. Yeah, we need to switch that for like a reticule of stuff. Although for right now it's kind of nice because we can point to stuff and circle stuff, and it's just obvious where I'm looking. I guess it would be with a cursor too, but I mean with a reticle. But yeah, that's on the list of stuff to do, to make. So yeah, we got to do that. We got to do that for sure. Why was I saying what I was saying? I forget now, guys. We're not a brain room. I don't remember, but fuck. What was it? There was something really important about that. But I didn't want to die. I think I was going to alt tab. Oh, I was going to say how I think I rely on the fog too much. I'm not happy with how bland this is, this kind of like desert stuff. And I never really was. I just kind of moved on because I wasn't interested. At this point, I was more interested in learning how to code, and I knew I could do better art. But now I've built on it with the fog, which I think it looks good here. I actually think it looks really good. But that's a weird place to be, that it looks good with the fog and bad without. I feel like it's like, there's like a saying for filming, if you film something that's like really low quality, you can like edit it to make it look nice, but like ideally you want the quality going in to be really high, and then just keep adding on to that. Any reason you use Godot 3.5 over 4.x? Yes, when I learned there was only tutorials for 3.5, every time I wanted to find anything, it was never 4.0. I don't think 4.0 was released back in 2023, I learned, or late 2022. And I just wanted to jump in. And it isn't apparent to me what I'm missing out from Godot 4. I don't know if anyone here uses that and they could tell me what I'm really, really missing. But for me, it seems like there's more rendering stuff or more 3D stuff. I don't know. But for me, it doesn't have any big effects. So I'm not super worried about it. Although, as I say that, I turn the fog on and we tank the performance. So maybe in Godot 4, it all runs perfectly. Hey, Chris, what's going on? ChatGPT is only updated to Godot 3 as well. Yeah, Chris, we're finding bugs and trying to do game design. Although I don't know how much we settled on any of this. I think we settled on a couple things. Not much. You're streaming more often lately. Yeah, I'm trying to. One, to get used to it, and then two, because I feel like the more you stream, the more people expect you to stream. So it's a good habit to be into. Also, I'm here alone. What else am I gonna do? You know what I mean? Which sounds sad, but I just mean, like, you know, it's nice to fill the space. Wish I was super skilled to give that insight, but loving Godot 4 to say the least. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know any Godot 4 guys that are like, oh, I know everything about it. But yeah. We settled on a couple things. One, we'd want secret rooms. That's happening. By we, I mean me and myself, my brain. We have settled on that. And that was almost it. We know we need a boss room with a main room. If we have secret rooms that have to spawn on the sides, right? And then this was a potential challenge room. This could exist, right? We could do challenge rooms. And the idea there is that we want to give the player the option to take a harder challenge for a better reward. Not a crazy reward, but something, right? That seems good. The problem is, with this one, to my knowledge, the biggest improvement was 3D support and maybe multiplayer, but the issue is that there's no good multiplayer tutorials for Godot 4, so arguably worse than it was. Yeah, that's interesting. Luckily, I don't do either of those things, multiplayer or 3D, so like I said, nothing's convinced me to even consider moving, aside from future-proofing, so that way I'm not like really left in the dust down the line. But maybe once we're left in the dust down the line, this game will be done, and we'll just move on from that, right? Okay, here's the problem, guys. We didn't discuss this. If there's a challenge room, what the fuck are we doing in the challenge room? Are we just spawning enemies? Because that seems dumb. Isn't the main game spawning enemies? So now what is this? Right? That doesn't make any sense. Maybe over here. What can we do in the challenge room? We could do mini bosses, but then that's... now we're making mini bosses. That's like a whole state machine and animations. Right? And then... the item room, this one seems solid. Okay, the secret room and the item room seem solid, actually, now that I look at it. Because the item room, we decided on locked chests. And I love locked chests. Now we have little loot boxes. Health, no mods. Can we take away the player's mods, hypothetically? Wait, maybe we could. Oh, this remix sucks near the end. It has, like, the worst sounds. We skipped this one 3 times already. Okay. Could we take away the player's mods? Like something you walk through and it takes away all your mods? Fuck. That would be... Here's why that would be good. Oh my god. Henry, are you on Ritalin right now? Is your Vyvanse just kicking in? Because that was a brain blasted idea. Here's why that's such a good idea. Because if you really aren't good at the game, then you don't have any money because you were getting your ass kicked, right? Then you could go in this challenge room and you're not taking a big risk. Or not a big risk. You're taking the risk of the challenge room, but you're not taking a big negative. You aren't losing all your mods. You don't have any mods, loser. Okay? You didn't have any money. You didn't buy any mods. Might as well do the challenge room. Right? That actually makes sense. But if you're sort of kitted out and you have a good room, oh, you really want to risk that? You really want to go into the, you know, it's like when you fight you want to go in the Crucible on Destiny and fucking fight it out with, no, the Crucible's, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You want to fight without your mods. Is what I'm saying. I ran it. The analogy fell apart. Shut up. But that's actually not bad at all. And could I do that hypothetically? So what you'd do is you'd have, the way the game works, you'd have, because mods exist in two separate places, they exist as the global singleton, they exist in that array, which is referenced, right? So if we need to know what mods you bought and currently have equipped, they exist there. But they also just exist on the gun, and we could theoretically take them off the gun, keep them on the list, and then anytime we want to re-add them, we just look at whatever's on the list, like add that to your gun. Although the tricky part there is we would need to go into the HUD. Wow, I'm glad we stayed up to 11:45 because this is a great idea. We'd have to go into the HUD here and like X these all out. Like you cannot fuck with this. This is locked. Like make them red X or something. Like they don't work, but they aren't gone. Yeah, that would be really interesting. It's a lot of code, and not a lot of coding. Actually, there's kind of a certain functions we could just call upon. We say, hey, do this half of the remove mod function and do that over there. And it would kind of work. Mitch says, roguelikes are all about risk and reward. I think it's a good idea to both balancing and risk reward. Yeah, I think so. Good idea for both balancing and risk and reward. A lot of ands. Yes. Rooms that make you use a specific gun challenge. Could we do that? So that's because we're the opposite. You keep your mods, or maybe you don't, right? That's in the air. Whether or not you have your mods, but you're going into a challenge room and you have what you have, or you have a set thing. You can't, see, I like the idea that like what you've built up is not at your disposal here. You're given a certain tool and you're told to like do it, because it sort of sets the playing field to be even. I mean, surely in the code it's doable, right? That's not that hard. Still, I come back to this. What are we doing as an enemy? So, did we do the secret room in this one yet? I don't remember if we reset. No, we didn't. Okay, but we need bombs. And we need hearts. Hold on, let me heal. Usually, items don't spawn infinite like that, but that's like, as you can upgrade the shop by putting money into the donation machine. It's Binding of Isaac, guys. I'm a hack. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Hopefully it's not the same one as last time. It is the same one as last time. Let's close this. Get them after the room is completed. I'm trying to make a 3D horror game. Any tips? Yeah, watch Wishbone. That guy makes a lot of cool shit. And he's really fucking funny. So, I don't know. He seems like he's good at that stuff. Oh, okay. We need a gun. We don't need a mod. We just need a gun. Stop this. Oh, this gun's garbage now. Hold on. What's this gun? Shotgun. Sure. Sure. Secret room is... Hello, secret room? Did I miss it? Oh, it's here. Okay. Please be the same. Okay, so this one is like a boss fight. I don't know what I wrote here. He's a ghost, so I don't know how you're gonna kill him. I guess shoot him. I'm gonna be honest. I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in ghosts. Yeah, ghosts are fake. I wish I believed in ghosts. It'd be fun. So this is the original boss fight for the first level, but the boss was so bad and boring that we demoted him to a mini boss technically, right? Oh man, I wish I remember this. At some point, like hours ago, someone asked tips for doing pixel art. That person's long gone by now. But listen, if you want some tips for pixel art, for cheating, like they were like hacks, like tips and hacks or something. One of them is just make your character arbitrarily fly. Because holy fuck, you don't have to do a walk cycle. Look, he just floats left and right. He waves his little arm. He shoots. You don't have to do any walk cycles. That's based. Yeah, so it's like a mini boss fight. We could do something like this in a challenge room. I just hate the idea of like you draw a guy, you have to do all the animations. There's bullets you have to draw. There's the pillars of light came from him. I reused them once now, but it is a lot to do, and then they sort of get hidden behind a secret area. Although this could technically be, I think the secret area should just be like maybe rewards. We talked about bad weapons. Yeah, we said that. Scene where you give your gun to the shopkeeper when you enter the room. I like the idea of there being a different NPC who's just kind of chilling. Do you know what I mean? And then while you enter the room, he like takes it, or maybe there's like actually a better thing would be like maybe like a box you put your weapon into. Are the vibrant colors like the glowing effects from the pixel art or the engine? I think a little bit of both with that one, because I played with the idea of giving him, God, what was his name? I think Conductor. I think he is some of the worst, like my least favorite art I would like to remove from the game. But he does serve a purpose where we get to see what smaller mini bosses could look like. So I haven't removed him. We still have him in. But he is getting modulated, I think, to look a lot brighter. And it's not my best work. Yeah, you can see it here. This is usually not on for characters, but it is for him. And then you can see here his green is over. Whenever something's over 1, it means that it's getting fucking microwaved. And this is getting microwaved quite a bit. So his true color should be... Okay, it's... If I don't forget. That's what we're dealing with. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's big. Can I even see that now? Nope, I can't. Okay. Alright, that's so I don't forget what these numbers were. In case I want that. It should just be 1, 1, 1. And 1. So, but see how kind of like washed out that looks? Sometimes that'll happen. You'll draw something and in Photoshop you're like, I think that's good. And then you'll bring it in and you're like, ugh, that's garbage. We could turn off this collision, this, and there's one more somewhere, this. But yeah, that blue is like really gross looking. It kind of looks muddy and ugly. Yeah, so instead he's modulated to look different. I don't think that'll change him here. Actually, is that him? That's not too bad. Oh, look how broken he is now. Yeah, so when you pause the game and do stuff like that in Godot, it will break stuff. Wow, what an easy boss now. Well, there we go, guys. I'm so good at the game. Oh, he doesn't die. Oh, he does die. There we go. Yeah, and then it spawns chests. We got a key. This one. Then we get some bombs and food. We didn't need food. Here's the thing. I just don't know if I want to do... I don't know if I want to do bosses like that. It's going to be a lot of work. We have to make the decision, you know? And then it would be nice to unify it all, where every floor is the same kind of thing. So, if it was hypothetically... do we want to reset him, just so I don't forget? It was 0.75? 2 and 3. Yeah, you can really fuck with him here, like we made this 4. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, look, he's radioactive now. Okay. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff that stops you from making games when you're just doing dumb stuff like this. Was that really what it was? Oh, no, then this is lower, I think. Something like that. 0.67. This is bad practice. Don't do this with your art. This is dumb. I don't want puzzles, eh? I don't know, man. They didn't... Here's the thing with puzzles in a roguelike. Once you solve it, what are we getting out of it? Right? Once we solve the puzzle and you know what's happening, is that really going to be an interesting and engaging activity run to run? That's the real tricky part. What could be interesting, let's say hypothetically, you went into a challenge room, right? I'm just throwing it out there. We're just spitballing here. Can we get rid of this? Let's say hypothetically we went into this challenge room right here, right? And we took away the player's gun, right? And then you fought. You were given a random gun, right? And you had to fight. I'm just gonna say a mini boss. We'll just say a mini boss, right? And then when you beat, and you have no mods, your gun's gone. You have no mods, and you're fighting with this other random gun. So you just get, oh, you had the shotgun with some mods. Well, now you have the minigun and there's no mods, and you fight through that boss. And then when that boss is done, you get the option to get your weapon back or to keep the weapon you have now, and you get all your mods back. So the idea is that, like, yeah, but that's just a random gun though. Would that really be worth it? There would have to be tiers of guns, right? There'd have to be certain guns that are just a little bit better. This is where things kind of fall apart. Do you know what I mean in game dev? Because now we're like, what? Now we have a tier system for guns. Now we have to have crappy guns and good guns and balance them for that. It does sound fun though to have good guns and bad guns. This is why games are so hard, because we haven't really got anywhere with any of this. Besides, we have some cool vague ideas, and they all seem like a lot of work. We might have to pause here. It is about to be midnight. Health upgrades are easy to do, and we can do that. We can give health containers, and we can also give pieces of health, We have like we have the, although it's not colored correctly for the HUD, for bringing the shop up here. We do have pieces of the heart. Like it's I have to redraw them to be something interesting. It's really literally Ocarina of Time, right? Or like any Zelda game. But yeah, if you pick these up, it puts a little dot there, and then the next one there, and then the third one there, and then you get a whole heart container and it heals you. So that's kind of fun. Just throw an idea from another game. Soul Knight, which I never played, but I should, has double-sized buffed versions of their enemies, and they'll have challenge rooms filled with these enemies. That sounds easy. That sounds based. Now, Mitch, if we had a status in the Discord for smart motherfuckers, you would get that status, because that is what I'm talking about. That way we save it. We don't have to draw tons of new stuff. We can just bring in enemies. We can make them more powerful. We can maybe like do a color modulation on them so they look a little funky, right? Maybe they look red or something. Yes, this is it. We don't have them drop money. We don't have them... Well, we can have them do experience, like for your gun. But we don't have them drop money. That's the other thing, by the way. Like, if we do challenge rooms and stuff's still dropping money when you kill it, things get out of hand very fast. I learned that very quickly. One of the challenges is to spawn spiders. And I found that that challenge alone of killing a bunch of spiders and getting the money was a bigger reward than the chest that spawned after it. Because you'd get like 400 or 500 gold pieces, whatever, pieces of money, currency. Yeah. But anyway, that's a great idea. That way we can do the thing where we reuse our assets, we reuse code, and all we have to do is make stuff a little bit more health, a little bit more damage. We can do damage, but we don't want to do double heart stuff, I don't think. But if we're doing half heart stuff, we can do whole heart stuff. Sword, good night. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm about to go. I think we're running out of good ideas. Thank God Mitch said something smart, because we were out of smart stuff to say. Okay. I think we're good. Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask? Ocarina of Time, 100%. Majora's Mask is the most revisionist history I have ever experienced. Thank you for asking me this. I can't wait to give my opinion on this. For years, people have said Ocarina of Time was the greatest Zelda game of all time. And I agreed. It was just known. It was so good. It was that and Link to the Past. We fought. Those were the two sides of the battle. And then at some point in my life, in like 2015, 2016, the next generation of Zoomers came up, and they were like, actually, Majora's Mask is my favorite because it's spooky. Get the fuck out of here. That was never true, okay? Ocarina of Time was incredibly spooky, okay? There was tons of spooky stuff happening. My brain can't load it right now, but I'm sure there was. Isn't there like the weird guy selling souls, and he's got like body... Or how about the crazy guys that scream at you, or when you go to the main Hyrule Castle and you're old Link? Oh my god. Also the nostalgia trip of being old to young Link and how life just changes and it gets shitty. That's the whole thing about being an adult. That shit's amazing. So good, okay? Majora's Mask, god fucking damn it. Everyone forgets that game, they don't forget it, they just cope with it. The fact that that game's on a timer, okay? It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun to restart the same dungeon, especially when you're younger and you couldn't figure it out and you got halfway through and you're like, guess what I'm doing tomorrow when I get out of school? This whole fucking dungeon all over again because it was the same fucking thing, okay? Game's good. It's okay. It's okay game. But it's no Ocarina of Time. All right, and then I see this revisionist history is some shit I've seen so much, and this shit drives me crazy, okay? People will say that Ocarina of Time actually isn't as good as Majora's Mask because nothing was like Majora's Mask, and Majora's Mask is so different. Okay, let me just tell you something here. When Ocarina of Time came out, nothing was like Ocarina of Time. The problem was Ocarina of Time was so good that after Majora's Mask, they were like, you know what we should do? We should do another Ocarina of Time, okay? Now you can't hold that against Ocarina. It just happened to be that good that you could literally be like, we need to do this game 6 or 7 more times, and then we'll kind of be done with it and move on to Breath of the Wild. But I've seen that argument of being, well, Ocarina of Time, like, so many Zelda games are like that. It's like, they're like that because that was the one. That one was so fucking good. Jesus Christ. Okay, that's it. That's my rant. Ocarina of Time is very good, and Majora's Mask is just not as good. It's fun, but it's not as good. Breath of the Wild, I didn't like. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm old and dumb now, but I didn't like Breath of the Wild. Okay? I didn't like that it felt like a Ubisoft game. And I like Ubisoft games, but I really like dungeons, and I feel like the dungeons were not fun, right? The 4 different dungeons, I only played the first Breath of the Wild, and I beat it. Also, here's another cope that I've experienced with so many people that are fans of yeah, you are late, because I'm looping now. An experience that I've had with so many people that like Breath of the Wild is, guess what? They never fucking finished Breath of the Wild, okay? I powered through it. I beat the game. I saved Zelda on a horse or whatever you do at the end of that game, and I stand by it. Breath of the Wild is so fucking boring to me. I don't know why. Maybe my head's broken. Yeah, the dungeons are mid, and that's what I like. And then running around the open world with the little, I guess you could call them dungeons when you're just getting the orbs, but like, doesn't that feel so like, the mystique is taken out of it, right? Instead of finding cool things in the world, you're just, no, I'm just finding orbs. I mean, I guess there's the Master Sword. I don't know. Also, here's something. I've never seen anyone like tackle this idea at all. Dungeons and shrines. Yeah, shrines is what I'm thinking of. Shrines are the worst part about the game. Okay, here's something no one talks about in Breath of the Wild, and I don't understand why. I don't know if everyone is living in a different plane of existence than me, and I'm sleeping the whole time. I'm about to wake up from this nightmare fever dream. But it seems to me that healing in Breath of the Wild is bad. It's just bad, right? So you can pause the game at any amount of time and eat 14,000 apples in a chicken soup, and all of a sudden you're at max health. And in order to cope for that insane gameplay decision, they just make enemies hit you for like 10 hearts sometimes. They're like, yeah, you in the desert area, this random guy with a sword is gonna fucking slice your throat. And you're like, what? Why would this random like lizard man do like 4 hearts worth of damage or 5 hearts worth of damage? And the answer is because if he doesn't do 4 or 5 hearts worth of damage, nothing's ever going to kill you ever, because you have a million apples in that backpack and nothing's going to stop you from eating them. Pause, and the other thing is pausing the game. So at any point in time you're low on health, you just pause the game and eat a buffet, and all of a sudden you're back at full health. I don't know why that decision is in that game or any of those games. Maybe, like I said, maybe I just, as a game developer or someone that wants to be a game developer, once you make stuff, you see how it breaks and how it doesn't work. But as a player, that never really worked for me. And it felt so artificial. I don't know why they didn't have healing over time. I feel like that's the best way to solve that, but maybe I'm crazy. Okay, maybe it just won't work. But I would have been like, hey, you can eat stuff. That's fine. You can pause the game and eat stuff, but you're not going to just gain 9 hearts right away. You're going to slowly regenerate health. I get it. That kind of gameplay means that you're going to be running away from enemies instead of engaging them. But the flip side of that is that enemies just do 8 hearts of damage. That's just that. Hey, that's just what that guy does. The desert sword guy, he just does that. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And don't get me wrong, that's cool for like the big laser beam ancient things. That makes sense, but some things do not map on. Or I don't know, maybe I just suck at the game. I don't know. Fuck me, right? All right, I think we're out. That, even though I was going to be done, that riled me up. So now we're done. I don't know. Breath of the Wild's probably better than I give it credit for, but man, I wanted to beat it so bad to reinforce my opinion, and those last couple hours of forcing myself to finish it when I knew I wasn't feeling it have forever scarred me. What's better? Players running away from enemies or players literally pausing the game just so they can beat it? I don't get that. Healing over time might not be the answer too. There might be something there where you just have a hot bar of food, but then you have to fill the hot bar in the pause menu. I don't know. There has to be a solution there though. I'm trying to think of what games do. Like, my go-to example of one of my favorite games of all time is Diablo 2. And what you did in Diablo 2 is you could say use mash potions, but your potions healed over time. They all did. The problem is you could bring up your inventory and you could just be chugging all your potions or whatever. But the game didn't pause. Like, you were just in the wild and fighting stuff. So you could try to do that. But for the most part, what you're really doing is trying to do active combat. You're trying to hit stuff and dodge, which I think is good, right? That's good. Even if you're healing over time, that still incentivizes like attacking and dodging. But I don't know. I have to replay Zelda to get a feel for it all over again and where that game left off on me. But definitely pausing to eat like a million ham sandwiches didn't feel like this is the best we got, right? I feel like we've solved this. We certainly have to have solved this problem in like adventure games, right? There must be a solution. Mitch, I'm sure I'm surprised you haven't said it. I feel like you've said so many gameplay solutions today. But yeah, there's something there. Okay, we're out of brain cells is the problem. We did... I don't know how long we streamed. It doesn't tell me. I don't know what the numbers mean, but we streamed for a little while. I'm not sure, honestly. Well, you're letting me down, Mitch. You still have the smart man flair. If we had that on Discord, you would still have it, because you seriously did say some really cool stuff tonight, but I don't know what the answer is either. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. I'm so sorry. No, you're good. You could tell I'm just really tired. These streams start off and like good, and I slowly just get so sleepy. I'm not used to it. Tomorrow is my day off. Tomorrow I don't think we're streaming. I think the plan for tomorrow... Okay, first and foremost, we're finding this bug. Then we're moving on to we got to keep doing HUD stuff, and we need... I think it's important, you guys correct me if you think I'm wrong, I think it's important to have a list of all of the lantern effects. I think having that on the right side here to sort of mirror the mods on the left, and did I say left? The mods are on the left and the lantern effects on the right. It doesn't have to be a big menu, and it can be hidden most of the time. It can come up like how this menu comes up. I think that should be in the game. I hate to say it, but I feel like that's going to take me a day because it needs a lot of icon work. It needs a lot of retooling of visuals in general, what visuals are happening when you select these right here. This was the best one, by the way. This is how we should go forward doing these activated abilities. This one is fire. So yeah, watch the world burn. I'll show this one off real quick. Oh no, I didn't mean to sleep. Fuck, it's fine. So this one is when you actually sleeping is good. So when I press E, it's gonna spawn these flames, these pillars of flame, and it spawns randomly around you, and it's just fun. It's always fun to do. It just killed a bunch of stuff there. It won't hurt you as a player, but it just hurts enemies. Going forward, I think the activated ability should be fun things like that. It doesn't have to be damage, but ideally, maybe it should be actually. It's really fun to have things that basically are doing cool effects, and they don't scale, right? So as your gun gets better, maybe some of these are good early on, but they don't translate. That one certainly is bad for boss fights because it doesn't usually hit the boss, which is funny as fuck. Yeah, but anyway, I think the plan should be to really focus on some of the basics of the lantern stuff going forward, and then we could be done with the HUD, like totally map it out. And I think bringing these bullets down a little bit, too many bullets there. 1, 2, if we said 9, it goes 9 across. It does look a little. The screen looks a little full with UI HUD already, even if we put that away. Jesus, that was a long pause. Yeah, these pillars of flame were fun. They're a reused asset too. Oh, it's a little glitchy up there. But yeah, I think this stuff could be good. Yeah. All right, guys. We always say we're leaving, then we don't leave. We lose a couple viewers, and then we say we're leaving, we don't leave, lose a couple more, and then eventually there's nobody left. And then I don't leave, okay? I just want to stream alone. Sit here and enjoy it. That's the plan. No, we're just tired as fuck. Thank you guys for watching. Every time I do this, I really appreciate it. Next time, maybe we'll do some Discord chat stuff, as long as you guys promise to carry it, so I can just listen and hang out. See, I appreciate the tips. Yeah, and if you have any more questions, we'll do more tips next time. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for asking me questions, and yeah, we'll all hang out later. All right, bye guys.